left. You gotta raise the camera. All right, hey there, Jordan with Status Coup. Election night here in Cleveland. The polls closed about 15 minutes ago. So far, I don't see any results for Ohio's 11th district, but it's hopefully going to be a good night, and I will be live. Good news or bad news? We are in Cleveland. This is at Nina Turner's election night party. They have a band, a bar, and some progressive people. So she's not here yet, but I have been reporting all day on the results so far. As of now, I'm not in the prediction business. As of now, I think it's going to be pretty close, to be honest with you. And I also think that the wild card is how many voters that voted in Shontel Brown's stronghold, which is Beechwood, are Republicans, because the Republican primary is today. Before I came live, I was crunching the numbers, and in August, Shontel Brown crushed Nina Turner in an area known as Beechwood, which is kind of a suburb, wealthier. Shontel Brown got almost 2,500 votes. And there's Nina Turner. There's Nina Turner. So in August, when Nina Turner lost, Shontel Brown got 2,489 votes in Beechwood. Has a significant Jewish population, too. We know that a lot of super PACs that are pro-Israel have flooded Cleveland with money against Nina Turner. Turner got 586 votes. Right before I came live, Beechwood had 2,757 total votes. So less votes than in August of last year. And again, the GO primary is today. Josh Mandel, one of these batshit Republicans, I don't know if you've seen the commercial, boys are boys and girls are girls. Black Lives Matter, they're the racists. Josh Mandel is from Cleveland, he's from Beechwood. Presumably, the Beechwood vote, which Shontel Brown won in 2021, there was like 5,000 Republicans voted for Shontel Brown because they didn't have their primary that day. Presumably today, they'll be voting in their own primary. So I think it's going to be close. I know Nina Turner's campaign has done a significantly better job as far as a ground game, knocking on doors all across Cleveland. Lakewood, which is new to the district. Bernie Sanders won Lakewood in 2016 and 2020. And before I came live, Lakewood's turnout was 18%. Sounds low? It is low, but it was higher than the overall turnout. So let me talk to my first person over here, a great Clevelander. What's your name again?
I'm Stutz Bearcat. I'm a musician here in town.
Stutz Bearcat. What a name. I love that. Yeah. And you were so nice. You emailed us offering us.
I'm trying to get you over to get breakfast. I make the best pancakes around, bro. Next time you got to do it. Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow if it's a good night.
Oh, yeah, if you're around. Absolutely. I got buttermilk. We got eggs. We're ready.
You've been around the block. By the way, one time, smash the like button, share this live stream. Hopefully it's a good night. Like button under the video. Super chat's very welcome. It's not cheap to do on-the-ground reporting, but we're doing it, baby. I drove here 7 hours. We'll be driving back 7 hours.
Can I say something? If you people are sick of idiot, and I just met Jordan today, but if you're sick of idiots sitting behind desks doing personality contests back and forth, if you're sick of that, then support Jordan, because this channel is like a breath of fresh freaking air, man. Let me tell you. It's so, oh, hell yeah, man. I'm just so sick of all these idiots. You
mean the online food fight?
Yes. Oh, my God. It's so, but anyway, enough of that.
All right. You've worked. Thank you. You've worked for Ralph Nader. You've worked for Dennis Kucinich. Yeah, yeah. You know upstart challenges.
Yes.
Obviously, Nina lost in August. It's a different race this time.
Yes.
You've been paying attention. What looks different?
Well, what's happened now is that every time I fire up a computer or anything, you are barraged. There is not one time I fired up my computer or my phone that I have not been salvoed with Shontel advertisements. It's unbelievable. It's really something. So that's what kind of has me concerned, because they've really been, like as you've been saying, they must be concerned because they've been working it here. They've really been working it. But it's funny, I've just realized I've lived in every area I lived in Los Angeles a long time, but when I've lived in Cleveland, I lived in Lakewood. I brought my kids up there. I lived right here in Cleveland Heights when I got out of high school, in the kind of the end of the hippie days there. And now I live right near downtown, kind of what we call the Puerto Rican hood, the Clark Fulton area. So, I know this whole area pretty well. So it'd be great to have Nina here, because I wanted to take you around. There's you were talking about the gentrification, and I don't know if I'm getting too far off subject. Let me know. But
not gentrification. I call it economic terrorism.
It is, and it is unbelievable matter of fact, right now, the people that own my property and the properties around it, they told us that they're looking to get a big loan to put up a whole, they're looking to gentrify or economically terrorize us that live there. And what they do is they go in and they put up, because I watch them going up, these things are made out of that pasteboard, the wood, that's all like I don't know what, I'm not a carpenter, but they're all made out of this pasteboard, and they throw up like a facade around the outside, and then they're charging prices that you would see in maybe not New York or LA, but Chicago anyway. I mean, there's these where people were paying $500, $600 for an apartment. These places are now going for $1,200, $1,400. So it's it's really something. And these places, the way they're being made, I know this is being cynical, but there's something inside me that thinks, I think they're making these last about as long as the tax abatement, and then they're going to be the next, the next derricks or ruins that are running around here. It's really something. So
I think it's what you're saying is important, because basically the city council, like so many other places, sold the city to real estate developers. Real estate, and Shontel Brown, in addition to the pro-Israel PACs and crypto billionaires, she's got a lot of money from real estate companies,
I'm not
donations.
telling you or your viewers anything you don't know when I say that beyond a democracy, our government is legalized bribery. They just, fill the pocket, so.
And on this race in particular, what are your thoughts? Because obviously the Republicans having their primary today makes a difference.
I haven't watched any of that. Somebody said you went to that Vance dude's place? Did any fights break out or anything? They start fighting with each other or something like that?
No, there was no fights. I would say it was more like a white grievance revival party.
These Republicans, they're like an insane religio-fascist cult. It's like they fight to be who can be the craziest. And I'm embarrassed to say Ohio is fighting hard to become the Mississippi of the North. It's it's what's happening around here. It's crazy.
And I'm not being rude. I just want to check if any numbers are coming out yet. So in this district, we still have no reported results a half hour after the polls closed. But I will say, looking at it earlier, Lakewood, if you don't know Cleveland, Lakewood is new to the district. Bernie Sanders won Lakewood in 2016 and 2020, fairly progressive.
It is progressive there, yes, it is.
It had before I came live, it was at like 18% turnout. Right. There's nothing to compare it to because it wasn't in the district, but it's bigger. That's more than the overall turnout, which is a depressing 17%. Right.
The people in Lakewood, relatively speaking, I think they're politically aware. There are people that are kind of that take an interest in things. Overall, I'll put it this way: there's a strata of people that follow politics and are very involved there. Yeah.
So tell me, Cleveland, right? Because Democratic majority for Israel doesn't give a shit about Cleveland. The crypto billionaires don't care about Cleveland. Yeah. None of these PACs care about Cleveland. Cleveland is one of the poorest cities for its size in the country, so that voter apathy is pretty pretty entrenched here. I mean, when you have 17% turnout, it's...
Well, that's because we have a Democratic Party whose job is to keep anything resembling a socialist away from the ballot. That is the primary purpose of as far as I can see, the primary purpose of the Democratic Party, other than like making the insane whack job Republicans look like a viable alternative. Their job is to be the first line of defense to stop they're like the net that catches anything that resembles anything that's populist or socialist. That's why like they stopped. You don't have time, but I had a friend that was working the polls in Los Angeles in 2016 in the primary, and what they did to Bernie out there, I mean, it was...
I know all about it.
Yeah, it was the shredders and stuff that they brought. It was like, dude, it was crazy. But anyway, I'm getting way off subject. I have that problem. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, so that's the problem is that people feel disenfranchised. So no matter who they elect, it's like nothing much happens. As you know, I'm not telling anything and you don't know. But boy, if Nina can get in there, I don't think that she'll be, waiting to, kiss Pelosi's skirt like the rest of these people are, We're hopeful.
What'd you think about that? AOC endorsed 5 minutes before the election?
Can you believe that? What? It's like, this is what happens to these people. It's like they go like, where's the parade? Let me run out in front of it. You know what I mean? The same thing what you saw in New York at the it's
Amazon.
Like, at the Amazon. It's like, where's the parade? Oh, here I am. It's really disheartening. It'd be better if almost they stayed away.
And last question: if Nina wins, it's going to be a close race. If she wins, why do you think she'd be different? Because we know that the progressive movement, very frustrated right now at inaction by the squad. They're not fighting Biden. They're not fighting the Democratic Party.
Because hope springs eternal. I just keep hoping, and Nina seems like she comes from there. I don't think, I think she's got balls. You know what I mean? If I can say that, I don't think Nina's going to go to D.C. to screw around. She's from there. So.
What's your name again?
I'm Bearcat Stutz.
Stutz. I love it.
Bearcat. You like the old car? It's. As an explanation, when I was in college many years ago, I'm a musician, and I would write record reviews for the college newspaper at Cleveland State University, and I didn't want people to know who was writing the reviews, so I started using that as a nom de plume, a pen name, Stutz Bearcat, and that was in 1974, and I'm still being called that 50 years later. Anyway, boy, it was really good talking to you.
You too,
man.
sir. Thank you very much.
A pleasure to meet you. Really a pleasure. Really.
We'll talk about breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll talk.
Thank you. Let's recap. Smash the like button. By the way, for the people that are very tight and have a complex about people wearing masks, I'm wearing a mask. My wife is immunocompromised, so I wear a mask to protect myself and her. So if you don't like it, take a hike. It's out of love that I'm wearing a mask. And cases are up right now across the country, even though the media is not reporting it. So let me reset for a second. And Colin, let me know, just toss out some super chats and I'll read them. We're going to interview other people. Right now, J.D. Vance is up in the Republican Senate primary. So that should be interesting. Tim Ryan has already won the Democratic primary for Senate. He defeated Morgan Harper. Mike DeWine, the Republican governor of Ohio, is crushing his opponents in the Republican primary. But let's go, obviously, to this district. So no reports, no results yet. That's interesting. Half hour later. Super chats. New YouTube member, Claude. Thank you very much. Mark, $9.99. Thanks, Mark. Anthony, great reporting, Jordan. Continue the fight for truth. That's what we do. Stacy, $4.99. Sheridan, you're the real deal. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you. Smatch it, $25. Thanks for fighting the good fight, Jordan. Nina, all the way. Thank you, guys. Keep it coming. And by the way, I'm hoping we get some member sign-ups today because that's how we grow. StatusCoup.com/join. So we don't have results yet, but I can fill you in on some things that I was seeing looking at the numbers. Bottom line, Shontel Brown won in August. for 2 or 3 reasons. Number one, over 5,000 Republicans voted in the Democratic primary for Shontel Brown over Nina Turner. There was no other election. It was just the special election between Nina Turner and Shontel Brown. So that's a lot of Republicans, and Shontel Brown only won by a little over 4,000 votes. So her margin of victory, you had 5,000 Republicans vote for her. The Republican primaries today. My strong assumption is they're voting in the Republican primary. Josh Mandel, who right now is in 3rd place in the Senate primary as the results come out. Josh Mandel is from Cleveland, so you would expect, he might get a lot of votes from Republicans here, hometown boy. But a lot of those Republicans are going to vote in their own primary, so that's obviously favorable to Nina Turner. Second, Nina Turner's campaign did outraise Shontel Brown's campaign last time, but at the end, there was an onslaught of money from Democratic Majority for Israel, a couple other PACs, and at the end, Nina Turner was being outspent. And you could not drive around Cleveland without seeing billboards with Nina Turner's infamous comments about Biden and voting for him is like, a bowl of shit. You couldn't see TV ads without that either. It was constant. So that hurt Nina Turner. For those of you saying, oh, she should run a scorched earth campaign, burn down the Democratic Party. Yeah, that doesn't fly in Cleveland. Cleveland is a very Democrat area. They voted for Biden by 35 points. Usually the winner of the primary for Congress goes on to beat the Republican in the general election by 60 points. So it actually hurt Nina being very, very critical of the Democratic Party, or not very, very critical, but the comments about Biden. So another thing that hurt her last time, and I think she would acknowledge it, is her campaign's ground game was not strong, meaning knocking on doors, that kind of thing. This time, they basically led with that. More of an emphasis on the ground game than TV ads and other things like traditional advertising. Knocking on doors. They've been doing it since February. They also have gone into untapped communities that aren't a high percentage of Cleveland, but the Muslim community, the Latino community. And another big factor is college students were not in school in August. They are now. So part of this redrawn district, because 30% of the district is new, college students can vote. Can't speak for all college students, but they generally go more for a Bernie Nina type than a corporatist like Shontel Brown. And lastly, Lakewood, as I've mentioned before, is part of the district. Bernie won it twice. So to me, I don't have a strong instinct. I think it's going to be close. But I will tell you this. Campaigns have internal polling, right? So if your internal polling is showing you winning, campaigns love to leak that to the media. If you're up by, 10 points, 15 points, whatever it is. Obviously, Nina Turner's campaign last time, they were up by 30 points, and they let that out. If Shontel Brown's internal polling was strong, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have the entire Democratic establishment flooding Cleveland 4 or 5 days before the election. Obviously, Biden endorsed her. That's only his second endorsement of this election cycle. He endorsed her 5 days before the election. You had Jim Clyburn here on Sunday. You have Hakeem Jeffries here. I think it was Sunday, another corrupt corporate Democrat. You had Tim Ryan, who is now going to win the Senate primary. He was here for her. Sherrod Brown was here for her. All of these folks coming in last minute. To me, that tells me the numbers were pretty close, and they wanted the establishment cavalry to come in. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's going to be close. Either way, I don't think it's going to be a landslide or anything like that. Let me see if any numbers have come out. Huh. Interesting. What's that?
3 new members.
Wow, we got 3 new members. Welcome, Brian, Marlene, E. So that's 3 new Status Coup members. Sign up, statuscoup.com/join. Support this on-the-ground reporting for $5 to $10 a month. It makes a big difference. Do you see any other independent outlets here? No, I do not. We're here like we always are. Let me see if I can get others. Come on. What's your name?
I'm Parker. I'm
Parker from Kentucky?
From Lexington, Kentucky, yes.
What brings a Kentucky boy here to Cleveland?
I am inspired by Nina Turner's passion and dedication to fighting for the working poor and the barely middle class, the people that need help, the people that are, she's willing to challenge the Democratic establishment to get things like child tax credit, the lowering the Medicare age to lower than it is right now, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. She's dedicated to those policies, and she is a fighter for everyone in this country, and that's why I came to support her today, or throughout this weekend.
And I'm curious because I actually covered a Bernie event years ago in Kentucky. I feel like there's a bigger progressive community in Kentucky than the media might let on. They just say it's a red state. But I feel in those kind of red states like Kentucky, a progressive populist message can resonate if you have the right candidate, if you don't have a media blackout. Can you kind of talk about Kentucky? Do you see potential for red states like that with a populist progressive candidate?
Absolutely. So, big example of that, Charles Booker versus Amy McGrath in 2020. I voted for Charles Booker because he was fighting for things like Medicare for all. Amy McGrath was not fighting for things like Medicare for all. She was trying to align herself with the more Trump Republican part of the constituency in Kentucky. But I think bold leaders like Charles Booker, he's running right now and against Rand Paul. May 17th is the primary for Kentucky. Get out and vote for him. He is the best candidate to challenge Rand Paul. We need bold leaders going against these Republicans in red states because they're going to turn out the vote in like Louisville. The people that are the base of the Democratic Party, we need to turn them out to win in states like red states like Kentucky.
And last question. You seem like a young buck. I'm sure you've seen that a lot of progressives are kind of angry, frustrated, to hell with the Democratic Party. I'm not voting, or I'm only going third party. What inspires you to still focus on winning elections when so many people are kind of like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on you, and they're just kind of tired of trying to elect progressives within the Democratic Party?
I think the best option is to vote for the non-corporate Democrat candidate in the primary because that is what will produce the best results. We need candidates that are not funded by corporate PAC money, that are not funded by oil crypto billionaires, who are fighting for the working people, the poor, the people who need help in this country. We need them to get elected, and so that's why I support that option.
What's your name again?
Parker.
Parker. Appreciate it. Lexington, Kentucky boy. Might have had one or two cocktails, I think, but I'll be having some after. So let's see here. We're past 8 o'clock Eastern time. The polls closed a half hour ago. Is it just my phone? I don't see any results, Colin. I see results for other races, but not this one, which is...
There are results on the county website.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there are.
What do you got?
Shontel at 8,000, Nina Turner at 3,400. This is just some of the partial of the early in-person vote.
Early in person?
Early in person, right?
All right.
Not
Could you send me that link?
Yeah, no problem.
No, let me not. Give my number. Hold on.
Jordan is doing some special getting the results. So we'll update you guys with that in just a moment.
What's your name?
My name's Hassan.
Hassan?
Hassan, yeah.
So you live in Cleveland, or you came from out of town?
I came from North Carolina, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What made you want to come from North Carolina here to try to help her get over the top?
I've seen Nina Turner since the Bernie campaign. She's been so inspiring to me. She's very unequivocal in all her takes. And so when I saw the way the establishment was coming against her, I think that I needed to show up. And I think everyone here showed up. They put a little extra on their plate for Nina Turner. Yeah.
And, compared to the August election, I don't know if you were here for that, what have you seen in terms of knocking on doors, this and that? What's been the response?
I've seen the organizing be like 10 times better. I think last time the canvassing and the calling people and voter contact was really not that much there. This time, people told me we've been contacted before. I was out all day today talking to people on the doors. We had refined lists down. Everyone I talked to today said they'll vote for Nina Turner. Everybody. I would call people on the streets and be like, hey, you know, they would be walking their dogs. I'd be like, did you vote yet? They're like, no. I was like, you want to vote for Nina Turner? They'd be like, oh, yeah, I've heard so many things about her. So we were there this time with the organizing, yeah.
You know, it's interesting because if you're watching TV ads, if you're watching, you know, if you're on YouTube here, all you see is these Shontel Brown ads about how she's somehow like a uniting figure and like Team Democrat, but she's actually one of 17 Democrats that are kind of blocking Biden from re-entering the Iran nuclear deal, but voters don't know that. It just seems to me, basically what I'm seeing is she's a people's person. She's going to, you know, work with the Democratic Party, but Democratic Party hasn't done much for Cleveland.
No, not at all. They haven't done nearly enough, I would say. Build Back Better didn't pass, and that's the difference between Shontel and Nina Turner. When Build Back Better and the infrastructure bills were passing, the separation of the two is what caused Build Back Better to be lost. Had Nina Turner been in there would be no separation of the two. When the Progressive Caucus folded that second time and let the infrastructure go through without Build Back Better, that was a key loss, right? And that's why we need leaders like Nina Turner going up there. We can't get someone in there who's just going to go along to get along, right? We need someone in there who's going to stir things up. And I think Nina Turner is one of those people. Like you said, with the Iran nuclear deal, when it matters, we need people to show up. And I think Shontel Brown is not one of those people.
Well, she's showing up for the Democratic Majority for Israel and all these super PACs that bought her. That's why she's trying to block Biden from re-entering the deal. You know, I wanted to ask you because there's a whole lot of progressives that I think are justifiably angry and fed up. And, you know, I knocked on doors for the squad. I volunteered. I gave money. And they're kind of, whatever the strategy is, we don't really know. And they've been disappointing in many areas. So that kind of thinking makes them think, I like Nina Turner, but she'll just be like them. Why do you think Nina Turner would be different in terms of not only supporting the policies we support, but actually using her power and leveraging her votes?
I think Nina Turner would be very distinct because a lot of the squad members, I like them all very much, and I've volunteered for them all, but they're very refined in their takes, and sometimes, you know, they'll go with the party. I don't know, every time the squad votes against a key Biden provision, they'll sometimes do just enough to pass. For example, when you're doing the Capitol Police funding bill, there was just enough squad members who abstained, there was just enough who voted against for it to pass, right? I think Nina Turner wouldn't play politics like that because she has no incentive to, and I think that's really great. It's actually an asset, I think, that all these people didn't endorse her because now she doesn't owe anyone anything, right? When she goes in there, the only people she owes are the people of Cleveland, and that's going to be very much different than Shontel Brown.
Speaking of endorsements, what do you think of AOC's 5 minutes before the election endorsement?
I would say that I wouldn't endorse somebody 5 minutes before unless I thought they were going to win. So, you know, I'm sad that she didn't come in beforehand, but since she's coming in at the last minute, I think she might have gotten also the whiff that, like, we're on track to win.
Tell me about North Carolina, no progressive bastion. Obviously, the country in many places is moving further and further right. Do you think a candidate who's populist, progressive, actually runs, not trying to move to the center, but embraces the left, could do well in somewhere like North Carolina?
Oh, 100%. Just in Winston-Salem, where I'm living, we have a candidate, Dan Bessie, running for county commissioner, running on the Green New Deal-like policies, and he's doing fantastic. Nida Alam is also a congressional candidate, just endorsed by Bernie earlier this week, and she's doing pretty great too. She's also another person AIPAC spent $10 million against, right? And so those policies are popular. Never have I gone to North Carolina and someone said, oh, I actually want to be paid less per hour. I don't want union rights, right? Something like the Starbucks union movement, you wouldn't think that would go in North Carolina. This week alone, North Carolina, in Boone, North Carolina, we just had our first victory in the Starbucks. And actually, I'm a Starbucks employee as well. And they just had their first victory in North Carolina. So it shows you populism works if you actually deliver it, right? If you don't deliver like the way Biden's been doing, of course, Biden has a horrible approval rating in North Carolina because he hasn't delivered for people, right? When you actually show up, people will show up for you.
Now you have this, you know, I guess not surprising, but this massive thing with the Supreme Court. Biden has the power, the Democrats have the power to get rid of the filibuster. Biden already said today, yeah, we're not going to do that to codify Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, here's the thing about that. People are upset at the Supreme Court, which is justifiable, right? It's a very bad thing to happen. Tomorrow, though, we could codify Roe v. Wade. we can make it a law tomorrow. And people realize we have all 3 houses. People delivered us all 3 houses for a reason. And the fact that we're not doing something about it, the fact that Roe v. Wade hasn't been codified today is a failure. It's 100% a failure. When people look who to blame for the Roe v. Wade not being a law, number 1 should be Democrats.
Your name again?
My name's Hassan.
Hassan?
Hassan. Hassan. Thank you.
Could you resend me that? Because it's just like,
Is it not like as a link?
yeah. Let's see if anything's showing up here. Wow, very close on the Republican side. J.D. Vance is up by about 2 points, but it's close. Huh.
Still not working? Maybe try copying it.
Yeah, let me see here. Do. Sorry, folks, doing this on the fly. I don't have an earpiece with a producer, but maybe one day. Hold on. All right, thanks.
That should be it. Thank you so much.
Cool. All right, so I'm looking at the Board of Elections here. Let's see if I can find it. Do. Yeah, so they haven't actually, there's no point in even reporting this because they haven't actually reported any, I think, election day votes yet. I just see vote by mail votes and early in-person votes. So I'll wait. Let me see. Woo! New YouTube member, James. Thank you. Mark, $20. I just want to say that I really appreciate what you do, and let's go, Nina. Thank you. Gene, $9.99. Thank you, Gene. Fly Chomper Fly, $2. Status Coup on the scene. Yay. We are on the scene. Elisa, $10. We the people. Hello, somebody. Ashley, $4.99. Hey, Ashley. Thanks. Patrick, new YouTube member. Thank you. Chris, new YouTube member. Thank you. Kat, new YouTube member. Thank you. Welcome, new members. Above all things, love. Forever thankful, Jordan, for all the road trips and hotel stays. Don Ziegler, Flint, all the protest footage, January 6th, and the MSM needing to come to Status Coup for it. Also, Nina's been AOC'd. Thank you. Yes, my back is feeling it. I'm 2 back surgeries in, hopefully not a third. And Kathy, new YouTube member. Thank you, guys. Keep it coming. And by the way, we'll take what we can get. But if you want to sign up as a member, I kindly nudge you to signing up through our website. So that's statuscoup.com/join rather than signing up through YouTube. You can sign up through YouTube if you want, but our preference is through our website because we control it, and we control, not control, but you're with us through our website. We're able to communicate directly with you rather than having it on YouTube. So if you want to sign up, consider signing up at statuscoup.com/join. Let me see. What's that?
My member thing wasn't loading, but we got new ones.
Oh, we got new ones? Okay. So let me see if we have any official numbers yet. And keep smashing the like button. Share this live stream if you can. All right. So with 17% reporting, Shontel Brown has 8,102 votes. Nina has 3,462. So in the early stages, it's Shontel Brown at 70%, Nina Turner at 30%. My assumption is a lot of that is the early vote. So we'll see. But right now, Shontel Brown is up by, I can't do math. Hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7. Less than 5,000 votes. So that's the early stage vote. Shontel Brown is up 70-30. I would expect that to close, narrow considerably, but we'll see what happens. Let me see if I could talk to anybody else here. Hey, Tristan, Well, I don't want you to come on with your food. So the early results here, this is Lakewood Councilman Tristan Rader. Early results, 70 to 29.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume a lot of that is the early votes.
It's all the early vote right now.
Say that again?
It's 100% of the early, or at least that's some of the early votes, I should say. There'll be some more early votes to come in because, you know, you could have dropped your ballot up until 7:30. Those won't be counted until probably tomorrow. So very, very early. Only 3%-ish of the vote is counted.
It's actually, I think you told me earlier that she did pretty well in the absentee ballots last time. She won by a considerable margin.
More of a margin than she's up by currently. But it's a totally different year, totally different district. So we're only a little ways into it. So we just gotta wait and see.
So let's talk about your area, Lakewood.
Yeah.
If you're not from Cleveland, Lakewood wasn't in the district last time. It is now. You were part of Lakewood going for Bernie in 2016. Talk about Lakewood, why it's important in this race. Obviously, a little bit more progressive.
Yeah, Lakewood's a progressive community. You know, it's been that way for quite some time, and it being in the district means that, you know, there's a better chance that Nina, and I have no doubt she'll win Lakewood, but it really depends by how much right now. So if Lakewood turns out strong, it could really make a big difference. And again, all of that is to come. 90+% of the votes still to be counted. So.
Also, what do you make of the Republicans having their own primary this time? Obviously, Republicans, by the numbers, put her over the top in August. So Josh Mandel is from Cleveland. So you would think most Republicans would vote in their own primary today.
Yeah, well, again, we'll just have to see. Both Matt Dolan and Josh Mandel are from the county here or live in the county currently. So we're just going to have to say it's totally different. I mean, this is not the special election last time around. But, you know, we got to be real, too. Shontel Brown is an incumbent in a lot of the district, but not all the district. We don't have an incumbent in Lakewood. First time in a long time we've not had an incumbent on the ballot. So this is really a chance to pick somebody we want.
And last question, for the broader progressive movement, if Nina's able to win, what would that mean for the progressive movement?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, for such a dark blue district, one of the most democratic districts in the entire country, that is this Cleveland district, to elect a progressive, I think, would be very natural, would be very fitting. To elect somebody that is more towards the center, I think would be doing a disservice to the party, disservice to the district and the movement on whole, you know, the country.
Kind of talk about the voter apathy.
Yeah.
The turnout is pretty low, and it's been low for a while. Why do you think that is?
I think people need a reason to vote. I mean, if we're going to put forward policies that affect their lives, people have seen their utilities go up, infant mortality go up, especially in the black and brown communities on the east side. They have less of a reason to vote. More of a reason we need someone like Nina who can inspire folks, who can get folks to the polls. We talked about this before. Cleveland, Cuyahoga County was a big reason Ohio helped elect Barack Obama in 2008. Why? Because he inspired people. Regardless of what you think about his policies or what he did after that, he inspired people. We need people like that to run so we can inspire people to make the country what we want to make it.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. Absolutely. So that was Tristan Rader, who is a councilman in Lakewood, and he helped open the Bernie Sanders office in Lakewood, Ohio, and Bernie won Lakewood. Can I get that water? It's a little hot in here. Can I get that water? Hold on, folks. Hey, is the audio okay? Is the audio okay with that? Let me look at the stream, talk to the peeps. Hold on. Yeah, I do believe these early numbers are the early vote. So I don't think that spells doom quite yet, but the early vote has Shontel Brown up considerably. Let me go into the chat. If you want to try to wrangle people, come up. So, keep smashing that like button, share this live stream. All right. Oh, do we have trolls? Welcome to the trolls. So yes, this is mostly the early vote. In 2021, the early absentee votes, Shontel Brown won the absentee votes by a lot. But I think this is actually noteworthy. Let me tell you this, because I tweeted this. So last time in August, the early voting was 30.6% of the turnout. This time it was 24.2%. So let me say that again. It was basically almost 31% was the early voting absentee ballots last time in August. This time it was 24.2%. That's a 6% drop. And Shontel Brown won the early vote last time. Election day voting. It might be more because I did this about 45 minutes ago, but election day voting was 78% of voting this time. Last time in August, it was 59%. So election day voting is up this time, and absentee voting is down. Could be good for Nina Turner, could be good for Shontel Brown. I would think the election day voting might mean more Republicans. Want to come on? Hey there. Patricia, East Cleveland Councilwoman, a progressive hero. Say hello to the audience.
Hello, audience.
So what are you thinking? The initial numbers, I think it's early voting, has Shontel Brown up. What are you feeling today in terms of Nina's chances?
I'm feeling very optimistic. The people I've talked to, the people I've seen, just lots of enthusiasm for Nina. Of course, we won't know for a while, but boy, it looks good to me.
And you know, something I noticed was Shontel Brown did very well in the Beechwood area last time. Wealthier suburbs, has a Jewish community. The numbers were down slightly, and the Republicans are voting in their own primary today. So that's an area she crushed last time. The numbers were a little bit down, and we don't know how much of that was Republican voters.
Right. We really need to wait to do the analysis of, the details and what the Republicans did and what the Democrats did and what this suburb did versus the city versus that suburb. It's too early to tell, but boy, I'm happy at the moment.
And let me ask you personally, because you've been knocking on doors for a while. We spoke the other day. Why Nina? Why? I'm sure you've had some disappointments in your day with politicians. You recently were elected to the council in East Cleveland. What stands out about Nina that inspires you to do this door knocking and do the work?
Well, you have to remember that I started out going clean for Gene. And that's Gene McCarthy, and that's 50 years ago, give or take a little. And at that point, I didn't do any kind of analysis at all. I just knew where I wanted to be. Now, Nina is just so authentic. And when you're authentic and you're saying you're supporting the things that I support, it's the only way to go. It's just the only way to go.
I'm gonna pretend I heard everything you said, because that band is really, really loud. Last question. What's at stake for the progressive movement if Nina is victorious? What's at stake, and what would that mean for the progressive movement?
Well, not only will it be wonderful for us here in Ohio, in Northeast Ohio, but I think that we will be telling the alleged progressive caucus in Congress what they need to do and what they need to be and how to be progressive and how to be consistent. And I think she could turn them around and push them to actually be progressive. I mean, AOC came around, that's great. And we found out that Cori Bush did not support Shontel being part of the Progressive Caucus. So I think there were enough little voices saying that their Progressive Caucus needs to be more progressive. And I think that Nina can help the Progressive Caucus to actually be progressive. That's what we need.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, Colin, can the audience hear what they're saying? Because I can't hear a fucking word. This band is so loud. Okay. Wait, what? Okay. So I have no idea what they're saying, but I hope you do. And she's great. Patricia, she's a East Cleveland councilwoman. She just became a councilwoman. She walks the walk. She's been out there for weeks knocking on doors, and she's taken on the corruption in East Cleveland. You want to come on? Come on. Let me just see if anything's been updated.
So I just got told that you were the guy who broke the news at the Capitol riot.
I would love to take credit,
You'd love to take credit.
but it was my cameraman. I wasn't there.
It was your
Yeah.
cameraman.
Hold on. Tilt over here. What's your name?
My name is Ben. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Royalton currently.
What?
North Royalton. It's just south of the 11th district.
So, John Farina, who was freelancing for us at the time, he was at the Capitol on January 6th. He was the first one live on January 6th. He got amazing footage. And you know what YouTube did?
What?
YouTube took it down from our channel. Our live stream with John Farina from the Capitol, saying that we were advancing false claims of election fraud. So that's the world we live in. But he did great work. Tell me. What's that? No, that's not John. No, that's Colin.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Tell me about this campaign. What do you think is different compared to August? And what have you seen this time?
So last year it was pretty it was very relaxed. It was fun to be around. There was the whole build up with Bernie, and there was all the AOC stuff, and it was really interesting to see all that kind of stuff happening. But what ended up happening this year is everyone got their shit together and just went for it. It really shows how the Democratic Party needs to have a solid ground campaign, because otherwise all we're going to be doing is sending all these ads in. We're going to be taking money from all these people who don't really care about our issues. We need to do groundwork, we need volunteering, and we need to actually mobilize the people. So that's our lesson from this campaign. If we win, if we do better, which I hope to God we do, because that's the only proven thing that makes things better, is when you go down and get down with the people and talk with them. Does that make sense? Awesome.
Because I think also most voters, from what I've seen, they don't know there's a primary. They probably don't even know they probably don't even know who their congressperson is. I would guess. I followed some of the canvassers, and they were getting a lot of responses. Oh, thanks for telling me. I didn't know. So a lot of it's not even just strategy. A lot of it's voters are apathetic. They're not paying attention. They got working one or two, 2 or 3 jobs, raising their kids. So part of it is knocking on those doors, but not just during election season, building community and organizing all the time.
Yeah, and it's dipping into that apathy and really addressing those problems. I wish we could do that more, because there's so many small details that go unnoticed in these communities. I was recently volunteering in central Cleveland. I'm not allowed to say where I was volunteering with, but the kids, they're normal kids, but the thing is they're put in these crazy circumstances. One of my kids, one of my students that I was helping with, she left for 2-3 weeks, an entire month, just gone out of school. The reason was she got jumped, and she came back with scars all over her face, and she was healing in the hospital for months and it's just imagine being a middle schooler. I had angst when I was a kid, and then now you're adding this fear of crime and the poverty that you're surrounded with. I don't know, that's just terrifying, and it's just we need to really connect with that in every way possible, because those are the people that are forgotten, and those are the people who are going to help us, not cynically, but they're going to help us win elections. Does that make sense? Okay.
What's your name again?
My name's Ben. Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. There you go. All right. Colin, hold this for a second.
He is shedding some of his skin.
Let's see where we're at. All right, J.D. Vance is winning over there among the Republicans. Let's see where we're at in this race. All right, nothing's changed for this race. Yeah. Yeah, why? Yeah, give it to him.
Come on. No, I don't want to.
If I'm not super hungover tomorrow, I'll come.
Where are you guys going to be tonight? Where are you going?
Where am I going?
Yeah, where are you going to go?
I don't want to tell the whole internet where I'm going, so.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. My wife would kill me. That's okay. No, nobody knows. Anyway, funny things happen when you're live. Oh, let me give some shout outs because we got a couple new members. Welcome, new Status Coup member, Darren. Holy cow. Welcome, new Status Coup member, Martise. Welcome, new Status Coup member, Noah. Welcome, new Status Coup member, E. Welcome, new Status Coup member, Marlene. Welcome, new Status Coup member, Brian. Oh, I'm so happy. This is a natural high. Keep signing up, statuscoup.com/join. And by the way, if you're brand new to Status Coup tonight, we go on the ground all over this country. I've been to Flint nearly 20 times. The water is still not clean, over 8 years after the water crisis. I've been covering the Amazon workers' fight to unionize for over a year. We've been out to that warehouse talking to the workers, 8, 9 times. Colin and I were freezing our ass off in Iowa covering the John Deere strikes last year. We were here last August covering the Nina Turner election. Win, lose, it doesn't matter. We get out there to cover the fight. Not just elections, but movements and the progressive movement. We have covered God knows how many cities that have water contamination. We've been out there covering Amazon's economic terrorism during the pandemic. We've taken multiple road trips across the country, interviewing people who were homeless during this pandemic, interviewing people who were evicted despite the federal eviction moratorium. So we cover on the ground what the corporate media covers up. So it's not cheap. We have no money from big bankers. The fossil fuckers don't fund us. Big pharma doesn't fund us. Big real estate doesn't give us money. Silicon Valley, no. Military industrial complex, we're funded by you. So if you got $5 to $10 a month, sign up, statuscoup.com/join. You also get to join us. You also get to join our monthly members call through Zoom. We do a members call through Zoom, which I'll be doing when I get back. We also have a members Discord just for members. And we do behind-the-scenes videos for members when we're on the road. We've already done 2 since we've been here. So if you're a member, that's at statuscoupmember.com. Let me read super chats. Hold on. Welcome new Status Coup member Kathy, new member Noah, new member C. Thanks guys and gals. Gail, 1999. Thank you, Gail. Danielle, $20. Thanks for your hard work and being there for all of us. Thank you, I appreciate it. Chris, $5. Appreciate you doing this. Happy you support Nina. It's a bizarre, hold on. It's a bizarre, a bunch of so-called leftists hate Turner. Oh, we'll get to the so-called leftists later. I got thoughts on that. Kirsty, $10. Thank you. Sean, £2. CPC need reform on member status. Yeah, and who's the chair? Pramila Jayapal should not be the chair. Armand, new YouTube member. Hey, thank you, Armand. Myra, 1999. Nina is going to win. We got to stay optimistic. Thanks, Jordan and team. Tyler, new YouTube member. Thank you. Laverne. Is that Laverne Cox? No fucking way. If that's really Laverne Cox, holy cow. Laverne Cox, new YouTube member. Thank you. So let me see if I got any results. They're passing out food here. Hang with me, guys. Hold on. Hey, could you find the updated results? Because it's giving me 0 right now. So I also want to address. I don't have an update on the results here yet. It's still early. I also want to address, frankly, the squad. You know, I kind of take it. I take it situation by situation. I don't say they're all bad or they're all good. I've credited them when they should be credited, and I've criticized them when they should be criticized. But I will say, if Nina Turner loses this race by a close margin, there's going to be a lot of answers that AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Cori Bush, Ayanna Pressley, Jamal Bowman, and whomever else you consider progressive these days, they're going to have some answers. Because frankly, you know, it's a day late and a dollar short that AOC endorsed Nina Turner last night. It's a day late and a dollar short that this endorsement came last night. I mean, there's no way an endorsement from AOC or pretty much anyone else could make a difference like 12 hours before the polls open. Even if, because of AOC's endorsement, Nina Turner's campaign raised $500,000 overnight or $1 million overnight, what are you going to do with it when the polls open at 6 a.m.? You can't even get on TV that quickly with ads. So honestly, I think it's really, you know, some people might say, well, Jordan, is it better late than never? It's still unacceptable. If you're a progressive and you chose not to come here to campaign for Nina Turner, you chose not to endorse her, you chose not to tweet your support, you chose not to rally your supporters, she's got 13 million Twitter followers, to get on the phone and phone bank, not the night before, weeks before. You should answer for that, because you want to know something? The establishment, they're a well-oiled machine. You got the Democratic majority for Israel, and now AIPAC. They dumped in nearly $2 million to this race for Shontel Brown. A crypto billionaire dumped in money, a lot of money, for Shontel Brown. As I reported earlier this week, Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, co-founder of PayPal, a Silicon Valley oligarch. He also was an advisor to Hillary Clinton in 2016 for her campaign. He was going to join her administration as a big technology position. He dumped $500,000 into a brand new super PAC called Mainstream Democrats PAC. And guess who their first candidate they put their money in to oppose? Nina Turner, $150,000. So that's not to say, hey, let's not, if Nina loses, let's not criticize her at all. Obviously, the losing candidate might have done some things wrong. But if she loses by a little bit, the question needs to be asked and answers need to come, where were you? To all of them, not just AOC, all of them. I don't want to hear about the Congressional Progressive Caucus and their policy on endorsements and all this bullshit, okay? They said, we're bringing the ruckus to the Democratic Party. Unless Nina Turner somehow got on fell out of favor with the squad, I don't see why. Nina Turner supported all their campaigns. So I got to get that off my chest because it's really unforgivable for them not to show up here. And it might make a difference. It might make a difference. This is low voter turnout, and if it's a close race and she loses, obviously there will be a variety of reasons if she loses, but you have to start looking at them. We can't be sycophants, because I see a lot of people that defend the squad. It doesn't matter. They defend them no matter what. Politicians are not your heroes. Nina Turner is just a person, by the way. If she gets elected, she has to be held accountable too, to make sure she is doing the things she says she's going to do. But to me, unforgivable. Unforgivable. All right. Let's see if we have any results here. I think we might. Okay. So, interesting. Colin, can they see this? Can they see this? So, the reason I'm showing you the Republican Senate primary results is because Josh Mandel, who's from Cleveland, is in second place to J.D. Vance. He's down 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. He's down 5 points. But why that's important is Josh Mandel is from here. So remember, over 5,000 Republicans voted in the primary in August for Shontel Brown. Josh Mandel is from here. Republicans have their primary today. The fact that he's in second place, my strong assumption is a lot of those Republicans that voted for Shontel Brown are not voting for Shontel Brown today. They're voting in their primary. A lot of them might be voting for Josh Mandel because he's a hometown boy. Maybe some of them are voting for J.D. Vance. We were at an event here in Cleveland for J.D. Vance the other day. But that Republican vote is going to make a difference, I think. Let me see if there's any update here. Nope. Same results. 17% reporting. Shontel Brown is up by a lot, but that's all early voting. So I expect those numbers to change as we go. Let me see if there's other folks we could talk to here. Let's see. F. Shopes, $1.99. I remember you reporting this the first time. Nuts. Thank you. Chris, $2. F the grifters, hating on Nina. Keep doing good work. Thank you. Laverne Cox, $100. I don't know if this is the Laverne Cox, but I'm just going to say it is because it makes me feel good. $100. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind. Thank you for the work. Thank you for that kind super chat. Mika, $20. Just joined up. Woo! I will always support independent media. I remember you from TYT and followed you here. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jason, $4.99. It is unacceptable that the progressives did not support Nina. Jordan, thank you for your excellent coverage. I agree with you. It's unforgivable. Oh, old Elmo, $10. Justina, $100. Holy cow. Oh, no. Just Bina. Thank you. $100. I don't have faith in politicians, and I live in red state hell. So God bless you for doing work on the ground. Now go out and do some more. Thank you so much. Hey, you know what I think? Here's my attitude. There's always a shift in sentiment, right? There's always a shift in sentiment. You have, obviously, progressives were in the trenches, riding the Bernie movement. A lot of people first got involved in politics in the Bernie movement, and they really believed in that revolution, right? And then we all know what happened. I covered 2 campaigns. There's a lot of fuckery and a rigged primary. Bernie got screwed, and he made a lot of mistakes himself, which I was saying at the time. But after Bernie endorsed Biden, got out of the race, then he says, hey, let's get rid of Trump and we'll fight Biden on day one. Well, obviously Bernie has not really been fighting Biden. He's been trying to play this inside strategy. I don't really think it's wise, but that's another story. And a lot of progressives have gotten cynical and angry and frustrated and to say, to hell with it. I'm done. I'm not voting for Democrats anymore. A lot of people are like, I'm done with electoral politics. I'm focusing on direct action. And I understand that. I feel that way a lot of the time too, because I'm going around the country covering the same fucking misery all the time. I'm covering the same protests without a lot of change coming from them. I'm covering the same city that 8 years after being poisoned still doesn't have clean water. Not one government official has gone to jail, gone to prison for the poisoning of Flint. So I feel you. I feel cynical and I feel angry. But the point of this monologue is, to me, sentiment will change, right? People will get angry and then hopeful again, and then angry and hopeful and cynical, and they'll want to burn it down, and maybe here and there they'll get excited. But what I don't think should change is we need people on the ground to cover the fight, even if the fight feels hopeless. We need people, Status Coup, God willing, if others start doing some reporting on the ground on these important stories, we need to cover the fight. Not just elections, protest movements, unionizing, worker strikes. We need to be on the ground and cover the fight. And you know what? A lot of times we're going to have some really fucking infuriating and depressing losses. And we know we've had a lot of them, right? But a few times there's going to be euphoria and victories, not just with candidates, but movements. And we need to continue, I need to continue, and it's not easy, right? I have a wife, a dog, hopefully a family one day. It's not easy to travel as much as we do, particularly through a pandemic, multiple waves of COVID. But I feel it's worth it because who else is going to, speak to the people? Who else is going to give a microphone to the people? Who else is going to elevate stories that the media has declared over? And I don't say that arrogantly. I'm not special or anything. But we need to continue covering the fight, because if we don't, that's what the oligarchy wants. The oligarchy wants CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, BuzzFeed, all of these outlets to be the outlets. They don't want independent media. And by the way, that's why Status Coup has been probably the most suppressed independent channel there is. Kyle Kalinske himself said Status Coup is basically buried in YouTube's algorithm. I have viewers that watch me at the Young Turks that once in a blue moon, I'll see comments, Jordan, you're back. I haven't seen you in years, you're back. Status Coup has been on YouTube for 4 years. They've never seen it. So this long monologue is to tell you we're going to continue covering the fight, the elections, movement building, protest, until I got nothing left. So, with that said, more people are here now. Most of them are looking at their phones. Most of them are looking at their phones and computers, looking at results. The band is going. Let me see if I see. Oh, wow. All right. Let me give a shout out. Whoa! Welcome, new member, Pinky. Love you, Pinky. Welcome, new member, Ajamu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ajamu. Welcome, new member, Jennifer. Welcome, new member, Christine. Woohoo! Welcome, new member, B. Welcome. Welcome, new member, Dan. Holy cow. Welcome, new member, Zach. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 new members today. I think we could get a lot more members. So consider signing up. StatusCoup.com. /join. Hold this for a second while I get.
I am in charge of the mic again, guys. So Jordan is getting a drink, I think, of water. It is pretty hot and cramped. I can't even hear myself talk, but hopefully you guys can hear me fine. And like Jordan's been saying, we haven't had any reporting besides the results.
Got somebody coming over here. Woo. By the way, there's a light blinding me, so if there's a big glare, that's why. How you doing? What's your name?
Tom Wentz.
Thank you for your service, Afghanistan. So tell me, Nina Turner button, what do you feel is at stake? Because obviously it was disappointing in August. We're hoping it's closer this time. For you, what's at stake if Nina wins?
Well, I know.
You can back up a little bit.
Okay.
Back up so the camera can see.
Yeah. I know that Nina Turner is going to fight for the people of this district, and I know in her heart that she's got each and every one of us. I don't know who Shontel Brown would be fighting for, and to me, that's what matters. You know, you can tell I'm retired military, and to me, a patriot is someone who loves American people, not just ideals or a piece of paper or a piece of cloth, but it's the actual people that make up America that you have to care for. And I know that Nina Turner is going to fight for every American to make sure that they have what they need to not just survive, but to thrive in this country. And there's no reason why in the richest country in the world, why we can't take care of everyone. And so that, to me, is why I want someone like Nina Turner in Congress fighting for us.
You know, let me ask you, because you fought for this country.
Yeah.
Shontel Brown, for some reason, pro-Israel PACs. What is Cleveland like instrumental to peace in the Middle East? You got AIPAC, Democratic Majority for Israel, all of these PACs dumping money here for Shontel Brown, but none of the ads are about Israel. They're all about how she's a unifier and how she's already done things in Congress. Why do you think that is? Because to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense other than they're very scared of Nina Turner.
Well, I think that's just it. They're worried about their corporate interests, you know. And I don't know. I don't understand the motivations behind people that want to just protect unfettered capitalism over taking care of the American people. So I can't wrap my head around what their motivations would be.
For you, as somebody who fought, we're now over $800 billion. Pentagon budget has been proposed. Biden can find the money. It's like every day I look, another $800 million to Ukraine, another this and that. I'm for helping Ukraine, but it seems they can find the money for that. They can't find the money for the streets, the health care. What are your thoughts, having fought for this country, this military budget?
Well, the DoD budget's as big as the rest of the government combined, and you saw that during the pandemic that we found the money to help people with the stimulus and with the COVID relief packages. So if the will is there, they can find the money. And if it took some belt tightening for DoD, then that's what it takes. I believe in having a strong national defense, but I think that what's going on in Ukraine also demonstrates that Russia isn't as big a threat as maybe we thought they were. So maybe some of that money might be able to be redirected elsewhere.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So it's definitely fairly packed here. I see, I think a lot of the volunteers. Let me see if there's an update here. So Jay, on the Republican side, J.D. Vance is pulling ahead. He's up by, what is that? Almost 6 points. He's up over Josh Mandel. So it looks like he's doing well to win the Republican nomination for Senate. Let's see. Yep, no update on this race. So I don't see, it's still at 17%, so we're all gonna have to wait, and I'm gonna have to just bullshit a little more to keep this stream moving. Let's see. Hold that for me.
Hey, I'm back again, guys. How's it going? I actually don't know where Jordan went this time. I think to find someone to interview. Still no new results. They've still only done the early and the mail-in ballots. Not a single vote has been counted from today yet, so we'll let you know as soon as that comes in as well. If you're bored waiting, make sure to go to statuscoup.com/join. You can join as a member for $5 to $20 a month. We've already had 2 different vlogs that we've uploaded from the trip, only for members. We'll upload pictures from the trip as well as we'll have a monthly Zoom call, which you'll be able to talk directly with Jordan, ask him questions about this trip or anything else, and lots of cool stuff like that. So make sure you join there. It helps support this on-the-ground reporting. We've been covering Amazon's unionization, Starbucks, this race, India Walton's race when she ran. We did obviously Jordan's coverage in Flint, and many, many other things. So a lot of unique things that you don't see from anywhere else. Oh, geez, let me zoom in on the band. There we go.
Was good to pee, because it's always a struggle when you're live, when you have to pee. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm getting blown up by messages. Whoa. Yeah, see if you can find someone for an interview. Elliot, $1.99. If Nina loses, let's form a Soviet. Holy cow. Salgado, $2. Help Nina, #DemExit. Evan, $5. What if Bernie's able to convince Biden not to run? So then Bernie could run in 2024. If tonight goes wrong, that's the next thing I'm holding on to. I think there's a better chance of me waking up with a 6-pack than Bernie convincing Biden not to run and Bernie running in his place. But thank you for the super chat. MSW, $20. Keep it up. Thank you. MSW signed up as a YouTube member. Welcome. Thank you. Kriya and Kid just signed up as a YouTube member. Dennis B, $20. Great coverage, Jordan. Love Status Coup. Go Nina. Love you back. Letty, $10. Hope Nina Turner wins. We could use some good news to lift our spirits. I agree. I hope so too. Fiona, new YouTube member. Thank you very much, Fiona. Thank you, thank you. The chat is popping. The chat is popping. I really appreciate the super chats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey there. Going over. What's your name?
Nathan.
Hey, tell me, we're waiting for results. What do you see different about this campaign versus August? Because obviously in August, a lot of Republican voters, etc. What to you is the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is that this year we're taking a lot more seriously. We have a lot of people on the ground this year. We're not just kind of like pretending that we're going to win. As you know, last year, was it July or May, we had this poll showing we're above 50% of the vote. I'm like, guys, you can't get too cocky. You can't just lay back, and we did. But that's what I'm pretty sure this time. We tried our best with the mail-in ballot forms. We really worked hard, and I'll tell you what, I met a lot of Republicans who went and said, I'm not Democrat anymore, but I love Nina. And I think that's really showing how powerful she is as a person when she hopefully wins this seat.
And you know, I saw also that I went to a Republican event the other day, don't ask, and a lot of the Republican voters here seem very gung-ho about voting in the Republican primary. So a lot of them voted in the Democratic primary last time. I don't think a lot of them are going to vote for Shontel Brown rather than vote in their own primary this time.
I agree with that because for those who don't know, Josh Mandel, who I think is a fucking psychopath, the dude's from Beachwood, he's running for Republican for Senate. I think a lot of those people are going to worry about him and other Republican primaries and not switch, and I don't think a lot of them had the time either, which is what I'm hoping we're counting on for the in-person vote, is that so many of the Republicans go towards the Republicans and they don't try to vote for Shontel Brown. So hopefully that's what we can count on.
And also, this time around, in August, college students were obviously not in school. There's some colleges in the district now, and I was told also that the campaign was really trying to speak with the Muslim community, Latinos, not a huge population in Cleveland, but still, it could make a difference.
It absolutely could. You know, you want to inspire the diversity. You want to have all these cultures be welcome in here. As you know, last year, Shontel won all that Jewish vote, especially with AIPAC pouring all that money. Nina turns to anti-Semitic, she hates Israel. Well, I think it's laughable. You know, Shontel, she's against the Iran nuclear deal, which is a terrible idea to begin with. She wants a nuclear war for some reason. But no, it's really great to bring these communities together so that, hey, we feel welcome in Cleveland. We're not going to be discriminated against. If Nina Turner gets in Congress, we're going to be represented.
And also, I was just asking somebody about this. You would think that Cleveland is pivotal or something for peace in the Middle East. All these, I'm Jewish, but like Democratic majority for Israel, they dumped in, I think, like 1.5 million here. AIPAC has not just this race, they're now going all over the place, and none of their ads have anything to do with Israel. It's really, I would have to assume it's really frustrating on a campaign level when you're being doused by super PACs that don't really care about the issues in Cleveland.
You know, it's true. You know, we're really trying to counter that narrative, trying to tell people why Nina's so important, why she's actually going to bring peace to the Middle East. You know, like you said, AIPAC's going after Summer Lee, and I forget which state she's in, but
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they're targeting all these Democrats who are so-called anti-Israel, when in reality, they're the ones who are trying to make the world a better place and counter the Democratic Party narrative of bowing to Israel instead of serving the people instead of foreign governments, and that's why Nina needs to get into office.
And what do you say? Obviously, you've seen there's a lot of people on the left, particularly people online, that are like, to hell with it. I've been burned by the Democratic Party too much. I supported AOC, the squad, whomever. I knocked on doors, and they're not doing what I want them to do. They're not fighting hard enough. Why would Nina be different?
Nina's different because she doesn't take court PAC money. She's not good. She has a spine. She has balls of steel. She tells us how it is. She's going to fight for you guys. I understand the frustration. You know, sometimes I get mad at the squad for not, going down to Amazon to help them with that union drive or for fighting Biden on the minimum wage, etc. But you have to remember, the labor movement's very important right now. With Amazon and Starbucks and elsewhere, you can't give up. Yes, electoral politics matters, but when you give up, that's what the corporate America wants. They want us to lie back and cry instead of trying to fight like someone Nina Turner to get into Congress.
And lastly, for you, are you from Cleveland?
I am not.
Where are you from?
I am from Hartford, Ohio, which is Stark County.
So Ohio seems to be moving right. So do you think if there was actually populist progressive candidates like Nina running in places like Ohio, other states that are running, more right, that message could be appealing?
It absolutely could be. The GOP are masters at identity politics, but they can run a full populist campaign like Trump and everybody else does. And that's one thing about Nina, too, is if you run like her, even Sherrod Brown in 2018, he ran a populist race and ran, while all these other conservative Democrats were pro-Trump and lost. That's what they need to learn from. If you run as a populist in Ohio, it might take more than one try, but I'm certain you can do it. They care about minimum wage and health care, infrastructure spending. They care about whether or not the kid can go to college and not go into debt. And that's why Nina needs to get into Congress, because she's going to fight for those things. And these corporate Democrats won't.
What's your name again?
Nate.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Absolutely. That was Nate. Love it. Love it when people do interviews, so it gives my my throat a chance. Hey, any of you want to come on? Don't be shy. Keep smashing the like button, by the way. Very important. It's the thumbs up right under. Even if you don't like me, fake it. What's your name?
My name is Jack.
You from Cleveland?
I'm originally from right outside Chicago, but I've lived in Cleveland for 4 years. I go to Case Western.
Oh, it's interesting, actually. I was just mentioning that in August, when Nina lost, college students were obviously not in school.
Yeah.
This time around, you have Case Western in the district. Also, John Carroll,
CSU, Notre Dame College, Tri-C. So yeah, there's a lot of colleges back in session, and that's actually been one of my big pitches when talking to students. I'm a campus core leader for the campaign, and so it's been part of my job to organize the Students for Nina at Case Western. And yeah, that's something we really talked about is that students can make up the difference, especially with that only 4,000 votes. At Case Western alone, there's the undergraduate, 4,000 people are eligible to vote. So if we can get every school and get some people to vote, which we did successfully, I think, hopefully that can make part of the difference.
And what was the response you were getting? Were they into politics at all? Were they kind of knew Nina, maybe were interested in voting, or were they receptive?
Well, I think it's there's a pretty big split. There are definitely a lot of students who just want to focus on school, not be involved in politics. But from all the students that we did talk to who were involved in politics or interested in it, they were all supporting Nina. I personally did not meet one student who was a Shontel supporter. So
you mean the youth aren't so into Democratic Party unity and crypto billionaires and oil heiresses? They actually care about the issue?
Yeah, I think they care about the issues. Student debt cancellation is one huge aspect. But on top of that, Medicare for All, Case Western has a huge medical program. So Medicare for All is really important to a lot of students. A lot of the students for Nina that are actually here aren't political science students or anything like that. One of them is a pre-med. There's a bunch of other students who are all involved in everything.
And for you, what's at stake here? If Nina wins, what does that mean for the progressive movement, Cleveland? Why would it be a big victory?
I'm a type 1 diabetic, and so the type 1 diabetes, I think, is something that is really difficult to deal with for a lot of people. I don't know what I'm going to do when I turn 26 and I'm off my parents' health plan. So Medicare for All is really important. I have student debt cancellation. But then on top of that, it's stuff that isn't just about me. You know, I'm a white guy doing relatively well, and there's a lot of other people who don't have the same privilege that I do. And I think it's really important to help them too.
Lastly, if Nina loses by a small amount, I don't want to get in trouble or anything, but what do you think? The squad really did not help the campaign. Obviously, AOC, last night the endorsement. Do you think that made a difference?
I don't know for sure if it made a difference. I am going to lean on the side of no, because I think the people who I think the endorsements in this election at least weren't as impactful as people made them seem. If you cared about the people endorsing Shontel, you were already a Shontel supporter, and if you cared about a lot of the people endorsing Nina, a lot of times you were a Nina supporter already. I think some of Nina's endorsements have been more impactful. Yeah.
Is the Democratic Party headed for the iceberg in November? Biden's saying, "Oh man, I'm definitely not doing 50,000. If we're lucky, you'll get 10,000 for student loan debt." And he's already said, "I'm not getting rid of the filibuster to codify Roe v. Wade."
Yeah, I think with the Democrats, the problem is there's all these promises, and that's where they get this big wave of everyone does really well, and then nothing happens, and then it falls off, and it's just a wave back and forth every time. So I think based on the history, there is going to be something like that again, but we'll see.
What's your name again?
Jack Hennigan.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see if we have any updates here. And I think we have some new members sign up, so I got to give some shout outs here. Hold on. Welcome, new member Alex, woohoo, Jennifer, and Elizabeth. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 new members today. Hey, you want to know something? If we get to, what's a good number? 50, 60, Colin? If we get to 50 or 60 new members, I will drink several glasses of whiskey and start doing rap for you live on the internet. It would be awesome, I promise. Thank you to the 17 new members. And by the way, also YouTube sign-ups. So that's awesome, awesome, awesome. This light is blinding me. You want to hop on? What should it? Oh, look at that shirt. Awesome.
Yes.
Tilt a little so.
Thank you. Yes. Andy Warhol inspired. I think you spoke with the guy with the long hair, Ben Veverick. That's his store, his shop, his online shop. I'm a very bad plug because I don't remember the actual website, but he makes really good material. Similar.
As you can see, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can, no doubt see, he's a very like artistic, very creative guy. So yeah, I was really, inspired. Any, donations, or any money, received from this, went directly to our campaign. Any excess, would go to our revolution.
Find out the damn name of the thing so people can support.
Yes, I know. I'll have to ask him, and maybe I can get back to you. Maybe you can.
We'll be live for a while.
Okay, cool.
Are you from here?
No, I'm actually from the state of Maine. I drove 12 hours to get here. Uprooted my life because, it was that inspiring to me.
Do you know where I proposed to my wife?
What, may I take a guess? Was it in New England? Yeah. Yes, it was in Maine, I'm sure.
In front of a lighthouse. Cheesy, but one of those Maine lighthouses.
Very cool. Like your Kittery, you remember?
I was too nervous. I don't remember.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
tell me, that's a long drive. Why have you come so far for Nina Turner?
Yeah, because she speaks the truth. She's real. She doesn't take any sort of corporate money, PAC money. She's always going to tell the truth. She's going to fight for the issues that I believe in. I'm epileptic, so, Medicare for all is a must-have for me. I've received some bills, that were, around $10,000, even $20,000 before that, made it impossible to pay the rent, have any sort of life. I was very fortunate that I could move back in with my parents and my folks, but a lot of people that would sit in the street, I don't want to see anyone in that position. Medicare for all, there's no co-pays, deductibles, and I trust Nina to fight for that. So.
Hey, Colin, can we get a better light? Because it's kind of like I'm seeing more of a shadow. There we go. Sorry to blind you.
No, it's all good.
I think, I just spoke with someone who's a type 1 diabetic and was saying I'm almost off my parents' insurance because he's on through Obamacare to 26. And what you're talking about, it's baffling to me, the Democratic Party, when Biden ran in the primary, he said, COVID, treatment free, everything free. No more. No more for that. And not to mention long COVID, a lot of people are getting long-term symptoms. They're going to also deal with bankruptcy. And you have Nina Turner, who's been consistent. She hasn't changed. She ran last time on Medicare for all. This time, she's been fighting for it. What is it to say to you, that consistency?
Yeah, that she really believes in the thing that she said. She's not gonna flip-flop or kind of read the winds and see where they're going. No, she knows who she is. She knows what's important, both to her and to the people that she's going to serve. I definitely want someone with that track record, that consistency, because that really shows that she's real and you can trust her.
What's your name again?
I'm Corey.
Thanks. If you find out the link, come back.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Let me see if we have an update here. Keep smashing the like button. I don't know how many people are watching. I hope it's a lot. But keep smashing that like button. So it looks like J.D. Vance is going to win the Republican nomination. So woohoo for a fake populist. Let's see. All right, so with 26% reporting, it's still about the same. So Shontel Brown at almost 70%, Nina at 30%. So that's about a 7,000 vote difference. I'm assuming most of that is still early voting, but it's about the same with 26% reporting. Shontel Brown, a little over 12,000 votes. Nina has over 5,000 votes. Total vote is 17,308. So I'll keep monitoring that. My guess is we're still in early voting, so I'll find out. Hold on one second. Let me read some comments. Wow, the super chat's going fast. Hold on. No, polls are closed. Nina up to about 65% needed, required in the final 3/4 of vote to win. That's a significant lead with a quarter of the votes in. 222. Trying to see something. No update. Yeah, with a quarter of the vote, with a quarter of the precincts in, it is a sizable vote. Nina's going to have to, as the next batch of votes come in, she's going to have to probably start going up by several thousand votes to stunt. Well, more than several thousand, but fairly quickly. So we'll see what happens. But right now, with a quarter of the vote, Shontel Brown is winning. No winning by a sizable amount. No way to slice it. I have seen this story. I have seen, just for context, when Cori Bush won in 2020, because in 2018 she lost by nearly 30 points. In 2020, when she won, it looked like this again. It looked like this in the beginning, where she was down by a significant amount. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep updating you as I see the numbers. The difference this time, as I told you earlier, was early voting. So absentee ballots was down this time as opposed to August. Shontel Brown did incredibly well in absentee ballots in August, but those numbers were down by 6 points this time. There was more election day voters. So I don't know what that means. Right now, Shontel Brown is up by a sizable amount. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. But right now, it's looking good for Shontel Brown, if I'm being honest. I'm trying to look on the actual county board site. Hold on. Stay with me. I'm trying to look on the actual Cuyahoga County site because that might be further along than the numbers I'm seeing on the New York Times. Come on. Plug your shit.
Yes, everybody. Visit Ben Veverick's site. It's social justice manifesto.store is where you can buy it. He's got t-shirts, he's got hoodies, he's got posters, he's got all kinds of stuff. You'll be sure to love it. Again, very creative, very artistic. Again, social justice manifesto.store. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. So, yeah, it's showing the same thing on the county site. Colin, talk to the viewers for a second. I just want to find something out.
All right, I'm talking to you guys. You're stuck with me again. Once again, to reiterate, I think we're at 26% reporting, essentially no change. There's no way to know, though, also, if the votes that have come in so far, that raised it from 17% to 26% reporting, those could have all been from Shontel districts. It could have been more early voting. It's hard to tell, especially with how slow the votes are coming in for whatever reason. Kind of weird, like Jordan was pointing out, or I don't know if Jordan pointed out, someone pointed out, but the Senate races and stuff seem to have no problem reporting, but each time I feel like we cover a progressive challenger, suddenly it just takes a long time to count votes for some reason. Weird. Sorry, no live music to show you guys in the meantime, but I can also hear myself talk, so that's a nice trade-off. Probably have to switch batteries here soon as well, so the screen will go dark for a little bit. I should do that now while Jordan's gone, actually. We're all gonna hope and pray that me changing batteries does not end the stream. But we're gonna do it since they're taking forever to report. I'm running out of battery. So wish me luck. And we're back. Are we actually back? I can't explain how nerve-wracking that was.
So I'm looking at the Cuyahoga County board because I don't know if the New York Times one looks different than the actual Board of Elections. So I'm going to look at the Board of Elections. So the Board of Elections is saying 16% of precincts are in. Shontel Brown is at 68%. Nina Turner's at 31%. So it looks like Nina's inching up. I mean, she's still down by a sizable margin, but it looks like Nina's inching up as all the precincts are reported. So right now it does look good for Shontel Brown. I'm not going to lie to you. But Cuyahoga County is reporting 16% of the precincts, while the New York Times is reporting 26%. So I don't really get the discrepancy, but I was just told to look at the Board of Elections because that's where sites like the New York Times are getting their results from. So, have I already had you on? You want to come on? What's your name?
I'm Sakti. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What do you think so far? At the moment, the numbers look better for Brown. We'll see what happens, but what's your feelings?
I want to be cautiously optimistic about this. Generally speaking, there's been a lot of races in the past that have gone like this, where the opponent, the incumbent, starts to do well in the beginning, but then as time goes on, as more precincts and more districts are counted, the lead starts to shrink, and then the opponent actually starts to gain the lead themselves. So I want to have hope for that, but realistically, there's there are hundreds of precincts that haven't been counted yet, that haven't been reported yet. So still holding on to that hope, I'd say.
I was actually just telling them in 2020 when Cori Bush won, it was like this, where she was losing big, and then she kept chipping away, and then at the end she passed him, and she ended up by winning by 4,000 votes. I mean, that's St. Louis. This is Cleveland. Who knows? But it has been done before.
Right, and Shontel Brown didn't have much of a ground game, and that's interesting to me how the last few weeks of the campaign, she poured a lot of this money, her campaign poured a lot of this money into attack ads on Senator Nina Turner, trying to portray her as somebody who won't get anything done, as somebody who would be an inefficient worker in Congress. But honestly, I think that's what the issue with the Democratic Party is. It's too milquetoast. If you have too many milquetoast figures that are trying to cling to that party line of moderation and gradual reform, when in reality the people want radical change when it comes to stuff like Medicare for all, when it comes to stuff like a Green New Deal, and that's what we need to understand, and that's what the Democratic Party has to adapt to if it seeks to be politically viable, and it's just not going to, and that's unfortunate. But again, I try to be optimistic about these things, though. It's because, generally speaking, I don't think you can ignore the will of the people forever. I think at some point, the will of the people becomes strong enough that you're going to see these issues becoming more and more prevalent into mainstream Democratic politics, and to some degree they already are. The fact that the progressive wing of the party is already advocating for these initiatives so fiercely is, I think, a testament to that. So,
something that stands out to me, and I find just frustrating as a journalist, because I care about facts. We turned on the TV, every commercial break is a positive Shontel Brown ad, but it's all fluff. So it says, Shontel Brown helped the president pass the infrastructure deal. She was sworn in the first week of November. Biden signed the deal a week and a half later. She had absolutely nothing to do with it. And the infrastructure deal is not like rebuilding Cleveland or anything. So the ad, other than that was her accomplishment when she had nothing to do with it. It also said she's a uniter, but she's working to block Biden re-entering the Iran nuclear deal. So it's all of this marketing and narrative that's not at all accurate, whereas Nina Turner, she voted for Biden, even though she made those comments. So it just seems like for most voters who aren't plugged in, that kind of messaging is very it's persuasive because they don't know any better.
Right, and that's the issue, I think, in modern American politics, is that lack of education on issues and the lack of an impetus to pursue further information and further voter education on the candidates and what they stand for in their voter records. Too often people fall into the trap of just kind of looking at campaign ads and taking them at face value without actually digging deeper into what the candidate actually stands for. You know, Shontel Brown, you know, she, despite being a member of the Progressive Caucus, she's very much a part of the Democrat mainstream. And the Democratic establishment is backing her in this campaign. So many super PACs are backing her in this campaign. They're funding her. They're pouring money into ads attacking Nina Turner. And it's no surprise why they're doing this. It's a factional conflict within the Democratic Party that's ultimately just going to strengthen Republicans. But while I say that, I think the fact that there is any sort of factionalism to begin with is just largely, in fact, because of the Democratic establishment failing to acknowledge the need for, you know, these social democratic progressive reforms that the United States needs and that the people of the United States want. Majority of people want expanded access to health care. Majority of people want the government to address climate change and the climate crisis. We're not doing that in a way that is adequate. We're not doing that in a way that is effective. So we need to, the Democratic Party has to really realign its focus. You know, I'm sure I'm not the only one who says that. I hear it all the time, you know, but we'll see what happens, I suppose. I think this election tonight will be very important in terms of how the Democratic Party will proceed from here. And hopefully, if we have a Congresswoman Turner, we can send a message to the Democratic establishment that this is what people want, that people want a progressive voice in government.
And for you, personally, why are you working so hard for Nina? What in your life would be improved with her in Congress?
Nina Turner, I support her because Nina Turner embodies a lot of the issues that are important to me. She supports a lot of the issues that are important to me. Nina Turner acknowledges that over-policing isn't the solution to addressing crime. The solution to addressing crime and a lot of societal ills is addressing poverty. I had a friend, a childhood friend, who I had lost contact with, but who had unfortunately passed away due to gun violence in Chicago. And that's when it became a lot more personal for me, because seeing someone my own age and then going to his funeral and seeing that his life was cut short, and then understanding the factors that led to that, the factors that lead to crime, the factors that lead to the societal ills that we face, it became all the more important for me to try to speak out against that and support causes that I believe in. And for me, that's supporting causes like Medicare for all, expanding access to health care, expanding access to education, canceling student debt, all these initiatives that are meant to give back to the working class and to build up the working class instead of waging war actively on them and benefiting the wealthy top 1% of Americans. You know, if we want to have a better country, we have to lift people out of poverty. You know, there are a lot of issues that I see in this country, and there will undoubtedly be many hurdles that we're going to face in the future, but I try to be optimistic in the fact that, you know, we can make an effort now. We can make an attempt to try to instill change however we can, and one way we can do that is by supporting candidates who reflect those values, that reflect those ideas, and who want to do those things. You know, I think of like that spirit of this Bobby Kennedy speech that I listened to a long time ago, like the ripple of hope, a tiny ripple of hope. You know, it's like we have so many issues facing us now, but if one person tries to stand up against that issue, they release a tiny ripple of hope. And then that speaks to the power of collective action, where if we all stand together and we all work towards achieving better outcomes and equity for a society, then that's a lot of ripples, and a lot of ripples can make a big change, can make a wave. And so that's why I support Nina Turner, and that's why I want to continue supporting people like her.
Really well, really nicely said. What's your name again?
I'm Sakti.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Absolutely. All right, let's see where we're at. And I'll update, give some super chats, shout outs. The band is going. Let's see where we're at. On the Board of Elections, I have the same numbers. Let's see. Yeah. Board of Elections, no change. Let's see if the New York Times has a change. New York Times has the same numbers, so. Any super chats I should read? And let me shout out if we got any more member signups. Christine signed up, Christopher signed up, Catherine signed up, and Alex signed up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 new members today. Keep signing up. It might not look good right now, and who knows, we might have another defeat tonight. But I really appreciate the sign-ups to help fund our on-the-ground reporting. New YouTube member, Chow Tran, thank you. Shmakatrusky, I'm probably mispronouncing some of these. $5. Jordan, been following you since your excellent DAPO coverage. Thanks for everything. Thank you. Zachary, new YouTube member. Thanks, Zachary. Pointy fingers, 99.99. All I see is Jordan and his team on my YouTubes lately. Great work, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ali, YouTube member. Good job, Jordan. Thanks for your efforts. Thank you. Ray just signed up as a YouTube member. Thanks, Ray. Crafty Geek, $5. Congratulations on the Breaking Points partnership, Status Coup. Yes, we're very excited about that. Some of our on-the-ground reporting is going to be on Breaking Points exclusively, which awesome exposure for us. Helps us get around YouTube, which has been suppressing us for many years. So very, very exciting. I really appreciate it. Crystal and Sagar giving us a chance and helping elevate our reporting. It's awesome. Definitely good. So you got the band going here. Big ass, I don't know what that is, but they're very talented, this band. You got a buffet going. The crowd is kind of quiet right now. I assume they'd get louder if the margins start narrowing and more people and Nina's numbers go up. Let me see if I'm missing anything. It's hard while you're live to also get the up-to-date numbers. Hold on. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein is trending. What now? Well, J.D. Vance has officially won the Republican nomination for Senate. So, another phony populist. He is going to be up against Tim Ryan, another fake progressive. Tim Ryan won the Democratic nomination for Senate, defeating Morgan Harper, who was the progressive. What else do we got? Yep, we're still at the same numbers here in the 11th district, so we'll have to just wait till there are updates. Let me try to get an update from some of the people here. Colin, if you could entertain the masses.
All right, I'm back, guys. Yeah, been a pretty interesting night so far. A lot of good interviews, actually. Hopefully some other people will come on here soon. And thanks you guys also for all the support so far, all the super chats, YouTube member signups, and actual member or website member signups. All that has been super awesome. We really appreciate it. Because membership is the main way that we are able to fund these types of trips and reporting. Like I mentioned before, Amazon unionization, Starbucks unionization, we cover things outside of electoral politics. This is actually relatively rare for us. Flint, many other things going on right now. Ty had gotten some footage from the Amazon election, I believe, earlier this week. I don't know if that was sent or published or not yet at Breaking Points, but yeah, as the Super Chat mentioned, we are also partnered with Breaking Points now, which is super awesome. You might have seen some of our footage on their channel, which is exclusive over there, so if you haven't, make sure you go check it out. I believe one of the videos was on the ground in Ohio, talking about us visiting a J.D. Vance event, which was very fun. Some very interesting perspectives we got there about a lot of things. And as well as some footage, other footage from this Ohio trip. We also published a video this morning when Jordan went to different polling places, and as well at that video at the beginning includes an interview he did with Nina Turner right after she had that emotional encounter with a former student of hers, which was really, seeing that in real time was a very emotional for us in person. But so you get to see that full interview, which we have not published yet, was just published this morning, so make sure you check that out. Let me zoom in on the band for you guys, even though you can't really hear them. Once again, we're waiting for more results. Jordan just took a quick break. He'll be back in a sec. Once again, StatusCoup.com/join to become a member. But we also have a StatusCoup.com/Ohio trip. If you just want to donate a lump sum, whether it be $2, $100, or whatever. If you go to that page, it has different ways to support, including PayPal, CashApp, through our member site if you just want to use a card, etc., etc. So make sure to check that out as well.
So what I was looking at is which precincts specifically have reported and which ones haven't. There's a lot of Cleveland which has not reported yet. Nina Turner won Cleveland last time. So most of Cleveland has not reported the results yet. Lakewood, which is brand new to the district, which Bernie won in 2016 and 2020, most of Lakewood has not reported either. And Cleveland Heights, which Nina won last time, most of Cleveland Heights has not reported either. So I can't really say what that means. Once these precincts report, presumably Nina's numbers will go up. I don't know if that's going to be enough to close the gap, but a lot of pro or favorable areas for Nina Turner have not reported yet. So that's why I wanted to check those numbers. Let's see. I'm going to go to the Board of Elections now. And keep smashing the like button, the thumbs up button, right under the live stream. The more people that press the like button and share this live stream, the more people that will see it. Yeah, so the gap is closing a little bit more. Shontel Brown has gone down to 66%. Nina has gone up to 33%. So Shontel Brown, 16,473 votes. Nina, 8,318. So still a gap, obviously a fairly big gap where Shontel Brown is winning, but Nina Turner is going up and Shontel Brown's going down. So if that keeps up, on the Board of Elections, it's 24%. 24% reporting of precincts, with Shontel Brown up right now by 33 points. So, but if you're Nina Turner's campaign, obviously, when the precincts reporting go up, and your numbers are going up and Shontel's are going down, that's what you want to see. And as I said, a lot of the areas favorable for Nina Turner have not yet reported. So let me see if I can get some more folks in here. Colin, if you can talk to the masses.
Hey, I'm back again. I think Jordan's grabbing someone. Remember to keep chat civil, guys. I see you. Chill, chill.
What's your name?
Angela Davis.
Angela. Big night, obviously a lot at stake. For you, what's at stake if Nina Turner wins? Why would that be a major thing for Cleveland?
So her winning tonight would be a higher minimum wage, helping me to eliminate my student debt, free health care, being able to walk down the street as a black woman and a black mother of 4 sons and being able to know that they're a little safer.
You know, it's interesting you said that because she's been incredibly consistent. She's been incredibly consistent on these positions, whereas Shontel Brown, other Democrats, kind of go as the wind goes, you know? What do you think about Nina? She's been talking about the same things for many years.
So, I've known Nina since 2008. She was my professor at Tri-C, and the same things that she talked about in 2008, she's still fighting for them and still talking about them. So she's very consistent, and she sticks to what she believes in, and she will not let it go or back down.
And for you, Cleveland, obviously, there's a lot of poverty. You got downtown, which all sorts of money has been put into downtown, but a lack of investment in other communities. Talk about Cleveland being one of the poorest cities of its size. Not a lot has changed here, despite the Democrats running the city.
So for me, I always engage my fellow citizens that our elected officials are responsible for the conditions of our neighborhoods. They get money for our neighborhoods and don't put it into the neighborhoods. And so we need to become more aggressive with making them more accountable.
Thank you so much. Angela?
Thank you, yes.
I love that jacket. That's awesome. Yeah. So, by the way, if you missed it, we had a clip that went kind of around on Twitter. Nina Turner was kind of walking to the Board of Elections, and a former student came up to her because she was a professor at the Cuyahoga County Community College. And the student hugged her, and it got very emotional. And the student, who I guess was having some issues in his family life when he was Nina Turner's student, thanked her and said, "You were like a mother figure to me." And Nina kind of broke down a little bit and cried. And it was a really powerful moment because honestly, in my experience, most politicians are full of shit. And a lot of them put on the waterworks for the cameras. That was organic. And you just met another former student of Nina. So this is somebody who has a lot of support in this community. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if we have the same numbers. No change. No change in the numbers.
Jordan is rehydrating. Let's zoom in on him.
So there you go. The music is going. I will say, I do believe that in August, the election had already been called at this time for Shontel Brown in August. It's almost 10 o'clock East Coast. I recall the election already being called in August. So that's good. It has not been called. Let me see if there's any difference on the New York Times page. No change on the New York Times page. We got any more super chats? Keep those super chats coming and keep signing up. Please keep signing up as a Status Coup member. We got 20 new signups today. I would love to grow even more. This is really important, folks. On the ground reporting, you got flights, hotels, rent-a-car, gas, food. We have equipment costs. We're live right now. We're live. The unit that we use to go live, that costs us about $700 a month. So please, if you have the funds, if you don't, we understand. But if you can support us, you can become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. It really makes a difference, and we try to make it worth your while. We do a monthly call with our members on Zoom, and we'll probably do that next week. You'll get the email with the link after you sign up. We also have a Discord for our members, and we do behind-the-scenes videos for our members. So I'm going to need a lot of whiskey after this because between it being hot and the music being so loud, I'm gonna have a bit of a headache. But thank you for the super chat. Lord Master 14, $20. Much love from Australia, Status Coup. Hey, Australia. Arlene Chambers, $20. Great work, Jordan, regardless of the outcome. Thank you, I appreciate that. Lord Master, $20 from Australia. Much love from Australia, Status Coup. We've got our own progressive party here making slow but substantial headway in our elections across the pond. Peace and love, go Nina. Thank you. Welcome new YouTube member, Brian. ALS. Cool to hear from one of her students, absolutely. And Julian, $1. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, we just got Christine just signed up and Christopher, 2 more members, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 new members. Keep signing up, keep signing up. Hold on. Woo. You should see Colin behind the camera going like, funny. Okay. So the band is going. It's almost 10 o'clock. The results are trickling in. About 20 minutes ago when I looked, A lot of the areas that were favorable to Nina had not yet reported, so that's what we're waiting on. Those areas. I'm waiting for. All right, so I'll be able to update you on this. So the New York Times has Shontel Brown at 66% and Nina at 33%. They say there's a discrepancy between what the New York Times is reporting in terms of precincts reporting and what the Board of Elections is reporting. I'm going to look at the Board of Elections because that's who has the votes, obviously. Hold on. All right, so on the Board of Elections, yeah, Shontel Brown at 65%, Nina at 34%. So Nina went up a little bit and Shontel went down a little bit. So it seems like every time more precincts report, Brown goes down a little bit and Nina goes up a little bit. But it's still a pretty big margin. This is the Board of Elections. So as you can see, Shontel Brown has almost 18,000 votes, and Nina has 9,451 votes. So Nina has some ground to make up if she's going to win. She's down right now by about 8,500 votes, if I'm doing the math right. So I'm trying to look at which precincts have not reported yet. Hold up.
Hey, I am back. I'm sure Joe didn't know I told you, we got some more reporting come in. I just looked at it briefly, but it looks like Nina went up a bit and Shontel went down a bit, but nothing too significant. We have not hit 50% reporting yet, so we'll wait as this slowly keeps trickling in, I guess. And hopefully we do not get demonetized from this music. Probably will, so support us if you can. And actually, I'm not sure what Jordan's doing this time. Either getting someone or they're using the restroom, one of the two. We have been going for a bit here. Hopefully we don't go through both batteries, because that would be unfortunate. It's been even with the results slowly trickling in and everything, everyone here still seems to be in pretty good spirits. There were some people dancing earlier and stuff, so we'll see how the night keeps going. I don't know if that gap can close or not, but we'll wait and see. Where's the venue? The venue, I forget. It's some type of like theater type thing or something down. I honestly don't know. I don't know the area well. I just follow my GPS. Why is there so few people here, you ask? It's because they're all behind us. There's a bar behind us. So in front is a regular table, but there's like a ton more tables to the left. I'd pan, but there's like camera crews and stuff to the left, so you wouldn't be able to see. But yeah, that and the bar's behind us, so that's where most people are. Once again, we are covering this race and the other races we've covered. We covered Nina Turner last year. We covered India Walton. Win or lose, we were here on the ground to also help so you guys can see the shenanigans that happen in real time. And I can tell you also, watching the TV in the hotel room, there are so many ads for Shontel and obviously a lot of the Republicans, but Shontel had an ad nearly every commercial break. It was kind of insane. So I'm sure that didn't help. And the main sticking point that seems to be sticking, if you saw our poll video we released this morning, one of the voters said they didn't want to vote for Nina because she was so divisive. And that's the main talking point that's been on Shontel Brown's side, even though Shontel Brown, like Jordan said, is blocking Biden's legislation. And she's the one that's doing more all those attack ads and stuff now, while Nina's only focused on the ground game pretty much for the most part this election cycle. So it's definitely interesting. And you guys don't know, I currently live in Texas, and I haven't checked to confirm, but I heard Pelosi and Clyburn are there supporting the opponent, or the Democratic candidate who was anti-choice after what happened yesterday. Even though there is a pro-choice progressive running against that person, they're going to support the anti-choice person. So that's where the Democratic elite are at currently. Clyburn went there right after making sure to help go against Nina Turner 2 times in a row, in addition to obviously the squad noise going up. Come on, you're holding it down pretty well. Appreciate it. I obviously do not do this very often. I sit on my computer for whatever, 10 or 14 hours a day. So this is a little bit of a change. Yeah, that has been the Shontel, one of her main sources of money coming in has been from pro-Israel PACs and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons why she is against Biden's re-entering the Iran nuclear deal, because of that money. So she's obviously more divisive because she'll just go wherever the money goes. Oh, we got a chant. And we're back to copyright music. There we go. We got some dance parties starting up.
So, from what I'm told, we have about 25,000 votes. There was 155 ballots cast. So right now, you got almost 25,000 votes. Now, we don't know how many of these 155,000 ballots are Republican, because it's their primary today too. But there's still a lot of votes left to count. So although it does not look good now, I'm not ready to declare it over based on the conversations I was just having. And a lot of Nina favorable areas, including Lakewood, which is brand new to the district, have not reported yet. So you got to be patient. The numbers obviously are favorable to Brown right now, but that could change. Let me go into the chat. Shontel Brown brings it home for Tel Aviv. I like that. I like that. Keep smashing the like button. Keep sharing this live stream. I'll keep updating you as best as I can. Right now, with the numbers I have, Brown is up by a considerable amount. But based on the people I'm talking to here, they still feel like there's favorable areas for Nina. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. Obviously, I'll be honest if I think there's no chance. All right, no update yet. So, just to kind of set the scene here, there's a bit of a dance party going on. Nina volunteers, so that's nice to see. What are your thoughts as we see a big margin right now for Shontel Brown? But from what I'm being told, there's a lot of areas still that have not been reported that are more favorable to Nina.
I mean, that's sort of sounds like deja vu. Every time that there seems to be a progressive running, it seems they wait to count those votes last, and it takes forever to count the votes. I was saying it's always, and as you were pointing out, for all the Senate runs and stuff, they're counting those just fine. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, that gap is concerning and honestly surprising because it feels like Nina Turner's energy, like you were saying, has been a lot better this time. The ground game was better, but Shontel also was a complete onslaught of ads. Like, I feel like it was more than last year. It was quite insane. And as you interviewed that voter, as people saw in the video this morning, it seems like it's working because he said Nina was divisive, but I bet if you asked how, he probably wouldn't be able to answer.
Hold it.
Oh, now you're stuck with me. We'll watch this dance party. Once again, thanks to guys for all the support so far. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We go live Monday through Friday with our regular show, and we go on the ground as often as we physically can to cover important issues. After this run, we'll probably, I assume we'll resume covering things like Amazon unionization, Starbucks unionization. There's been other union efforts happening all over the country that I've been seeing at other smaller companies and some at even bigger companies like Verizon and stuff. So there's a lot of exciting things happening outside of politics. So if you guys are disappointed if this night ends up not turning out positive, we still don't know yet, obviously, but if you want outside politics, that's our main thing we do is covering real people, real economic issues, and real movements outside of the politics, as well as occasionally covering these political races that involve progressives fighting establishment, essentially. So, yeah.
So, no change in the results. I got somebody coming over here to talk. Always good to talk to the people. There's a lot of people dancing here. And quite a bit of booze going too. Hey man, what's your name?
My name's Roderick Horn.
Hey, nice to meet you. So tell me, obviously you got a lot of energy going right now, people dancing. What do you think? She's down right now, but I feel like this time they were knocking on doors nonstop, really organized campaign. You think there's a chance?
Well, I think that she got a great chance of winning this. For the simple fact, you can look at the turnout of the people. The people will tell you how well you do. You know, if you this come from just out there just being aggressive with it, letting them know, giving them information, people passing on positive thoughts and positive inputs that she has. She couldn't knock on every door, but this goes to show you that everybody else who believed in her started knocking on doors just like me.
And you know, boy, all these super PACs are just dumping money into Cleveland. All these super PACs are funding Shontel Brown. She's on TV nonstop. Why do you think they're so interested in Cleveland?
Because Cleveland, we got a great history. We just, we're a city that's constantly evolving, constantly trying to better ourselves. And we got a great space, we got a great environment, we got great weather, and the people just need a chance to show you what we can do. And a lot of people believe in that, as long as we believe in ourselves. We call our city sometimes Believeland, because we believe in ourselves, and we believe that our city can be great with great leaders that'll back us up, that'll back the people up. And I think that Ms. Turner, she'll be a great candidate to back us up here in Cleveland as well.
And Nina, you know, Nina seems real. Whereas Shontel Brown, her opponent, seems very scripted, kind of phony. What stands out about Nina to you?
Well, like you said, she's real. She's here with the people. You know, she's not just talking it, she's actually living it. And the people see that. And here in Cleveland, we need to see it for ourselves for us to back you up. We're a tough city to convince. But if you convince Cleveland, you can convince the world. Believe that.
And, you know, Cleveland, you look at downtown, it's nice. A lot of restaurants, bars, a lot of money's been in it. But then you drive like 15 minutes and it's a whole nother city. And no investment. Roads falling apart. Does the Democratic Party need to be doing a lot more for its people here?
I believe that. I definitely believe that. And this, like I said, we're a growing city. We just need the right people in the right place to push us in the direction that we need to go. I'm from the projects. You know, I'm from down the way. And if we can, and there's a lot of good energy down there, but nobody's giving us the opportunity or giving them the chance. And we hopefully, by putting her in Congress, that she can give us the opportunity and the chance to show you how we can bounce back. It's always a comeback. It's always a comeback.
What's your name?
My name is Roderick Horn, a.k.a. Bad Monkey. Bad Monkey Entertainment.
There you go. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Bad Monkey. Love it. Bad Monkey Entertainment. Let's see if there's any difference. Yeah, so Nina Turner is up to 36%. Shontel Brown is down to 63%. So Nina is inching up. It's still a pretty big margin, but Nina is going up. So now you have Shontel Brown with 22,000, a little over 22,000 votes. Nina Turner, 12,867. So Nina's almost at 13,000 votes. Shontel has over 22,000 votes. Trying to see which precincts haven't reported. Yeah, I mean, every time I look for an update, Nina Turner is moving up, Brown is moving down. The problem is, it's still a wide margin. So we'll have to see. It's hard to tell how much of the vote right now is mostly absentee ballots rather than election day voting. I wish it was loading on my phone. It's not working for some reason because I'd like to see which precincts haven't reported yet. So I'm going to ask Colin to entertain you for a little bit as I go look. Sorry, I keep stepping away. But keep smashing that like button, keep sharing. Super chats are very much appreciated. I'm just going to check which areas have not reported.
As a reminder, I cannot hear Jordan, so I have no idea what he's doing. Nothing to really zoom in on here. It's a cool little stage, though. But we have now been live for 2.5 hours, which means it's been about 3 hours since polls closed, and we have yet to hit 50%. Oh, I'll be quiet. I think Nina is coming out. She's walking up to the stage. And there's people blocking it.
Nina Turner just came out. Let's see if she's about to speak.
And everybody, all 47 million of us that have student debt. Oh yeah, she's the champion of our seniors, the champion of our young people. She's the champion of an America that is good as its promise, where all of us get to live a good life. And all of you, members of Team Turner, here in this room and across greater Cleveland and across this nation, have come together to be the army for the Nina Turner, our champion. And for that, I say congratulations. See, what we have to remember is that this is a long-term battle. And together, we're going to continue to do this work because she, our leader, encourages us to do that. My name is Karen. I've been honored to lead you all, Team Turner. And I want you to know that right now, I am excited to bring up the people's champion, one that we love and trust, one that we are excited to hear from, one that reminds us that better days are ahead, one that reminds us that we are a part of a movement that's unshakable and unstoppable, one that is unbossed and unbossed and unafraid, the one and only. The one and only, the Nina Turner.
Thank you so much. I want to thank Kara so much for leading this great team. Can we clap it up for our campaign manager? I want to say how much I love each and every one of you for being here tonight, for being in this battle with us, and it is far from over. I'm going to read from some prepared remarks, and I'll probably go in and out the remarks here because I usually go extemporaneously, but today I'm going to read from these remarks. So I want to thank my family so very much for their love and support. My son is here, my dad, my sisters, just so many people who, whether I ever have another special title or not, will always be there for me. So I want to thank them. I want to thank my grandparents and my mama, who is not here on this plane of existence, and all of my ancestors who fought so hard for somebody like me to be where
where I am today to the spirit of the fighters. To my incredible, incredible team, both the paid team and the unpaid team. We had a lot of volunteers on this team. But I want to thank each and every one of you for being there through thick and thin. So just thank you. So now I'm going to read from these prepared remarks, and then I am going to go extemporaneously before this is all over with. Just bear with me. I want to thank all of you in this room and so many more across this country who supported this upstart grassroots campaign. I can tell you that this team left it all on the field. We fought through the $3 million in outside money from every corporate interest you can name. The oil companies, the drug companies, the crypto speculators, and even Trump donors. We went door to door talking to the people of Greater Cleveland, but all the hours of our volunteers, the tireless efforts of our dedicated staff, and the generosity of small dollar donors, working class people, just could not on this particular day beat the onslaught of corporate spending that swamped this district and its people. This election was never about me, nor was it about Shontel Brown. These outside corporate special interests who not only invaded this community, but who are doing it in every other community in this nation. Those of us who believe in representative democracy should be very disturbed about this type of money that came in 2 weeks before this election day. They didn't come in here because we were losing. They came in here because we were winning. They are trying to keep you from getting the higher wages you need. They are trying to keep you from getting relief from high gas prices, high food prices, and high medicine prices. But most importantly, they are trying to keep you from getting quality health care, universal health care, college. They're trying to. They are trying to rob this community and this nation of hope. Let us never forget that Cleveland was the station of hope on the Underground Railroad, and we will restore that hope once again. They want us to believe that the future that all of us dream about for ourselves and for our children and our grandchildren is just not possible. But we know in this room, we know that that is wrong and that better days are ahead. We know that there are so many fights that need to be fought and to be won. We know that we must and we will and we can raise the minimum wage. We know that we must and we will have universal health care for all in these United States of America. We know that we will and that we must have an energy future that does not destroy Mother Earth. We know that we will and we must ensure that justice and equity for all exists in this nation. Just in the last few days, we have seen that the right-wing U.S. Supreme Court is prepared to take away the freedom of a woman to control her own body. The draft decision that was leaked is so radical that it could mean a woman who was raped and became pregnant would have to carry that pregnancy. That's how radical they are. That a 13-year-old little girl who became pregnant because she was abused by a family member would have to carry that pregnancy to term. What is the liberty for those women? So as we reflect on this loss tonight, please, please, please stay with me as we continue our justice journey together. The powerful corporate interests may still be able to buy an election, but do not let them rob you of your hope, of your dignity, of your pride, of our future, because if they do that, that's how they win. We need to keep standing together, fighting side by side, and some battles we may lose, but the larger war, or the larger push for economic, racial, social, and environmental justice is one that we must continue and never quit. God bless all of you, and again, I want to thank the thousands of people who voted, who donated, the working class people of this district and of this nation. Know this, that tomorrow is a new day, but the struggle before us is more urgent than ever. We all must commit to struggle together to bring this country back from the corporate special interests that bribe and buy politicians. They rented this district last year, and baby, they sure enough bought it this year. Let me say to the people in this room, don't call it a comeback. I've been here all along. You well know so many people wrote us off when this campaign began. They said we couldn't take on the establishment. They said that we couldn't take on the $1 million super PAC money. That's what they said that we couldn't do. We know that they were wrong because this is just one step. We have faith and we have the fight. And so let me say this extemporaneously. All right. Sister Turner ain't going nowhere. My resolve tonight is intact. And this is what I do know. That in the spirit of Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, I'm unbought and I'm unbossed. And that's why that money came in here. Because they know in the halls of Congress that I was going to shake that sucker on behalf of the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class. But that's all right, Pastor Early. They can't contain this black girl magic, because what I am going to do is I'm going to take this magic all over this country and shake it that way. And maybe 2024 is coming. And I think the great state of California got something to say about what Sister Turner should do. The great state of Iowa got something to say about what Sister Turner should do. The great state of Nevada got something to say about what Sister Turner should do. But we ain't going nowhere. They just reinforced my resolve. And that just like King James, LeBron James decided to take his skills to South Beach, but what Sister Turner is going to do is to continue taking my skills all over this nation, and I'm going to see some folks in 2024. Hello? Stay tuned. This is what y'all asked for. My mama used to say, sometimes you're going to get what you ask for. And that corporate money coming up in here this way to suppress and malign the voices of working class people in this district, in this nation, and in this world. Let me tell you something, they ain't seen nothing yet. They gonna get what they asked for. Sister Turner unleashed. That's what they gonna get. That's what they wanted, turn time. That's what they wanted. And that's what they gonna get. So I'll see you all in 2024. Oh, wait, let me get my team up here. Team Turner, come on up here. Get my family up here. Hold on, this is what they wanted.
All's my life I had to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like that. Bad trips like that. Nazareth, I'm fucked up, you fucked up, but if God got us, we gon' be alright.
gonna be all right. One more thing, I want this movement to know. I want the freedom-fighting progressive movement to know that we're gonna start separating the wheat from the chaff. Now it's time for the true freedom-fighting progressives to stand up and be accounted for. We're not gonna play games with the pinos, and that's progressives in name only. All bets are off when it comes to standing up for the people. No playing, because this is what they wanted, they're gonna get it. That's right. I'm really excited about what we are going to be able to do together. And I'm saying to the people of this movement, and the people who cannot afford to live, that not only is spring coming, help is on the way, baby. We gonna do this. I want the movement to know. This is what this attack was against this movement. And if they can buy races in districts like this, they're coming all over the world, all over the country. See, they got a formula. This was a test case. They did the same thing to India Warren. They did the same thing to Senator Bernie Sanders. Let's go and tell the truth. I still believe in a higher power that is more powerful than cryptocurrency billionaires. Hello? Bishop. More powerful than oil barons. Hello? And to quote my sister Marianne Williamson, we are going to call on powers both divine and mortal. And this is time for the mortal powers of this freedom-fighting movement to decide that we are not going to take it anymore, and Sister Turner is going to continue to be on the front line of that fight. I'm not going anywhere. All they did was reinforce my resolve. That's what they did. So I love you guys, and I mean that. I want you head held high for every door that was knocked, for every person that came up to me and said, Nina Turner, you made a difference in my life. The mission stays the same. That's what I want y'all to know tonight. You can be, discouraged about what the outcome was in this particular, but I want you to think about generations of fighters who at times were disappointed, but they kept on keeping on. And that is exactly what we are going to do tonight. I want you to ignore what the talking heads got to say about this, because this really was the people versus the machine. And the machine may have won Pastor Early the battle, but we gonna win the war. Hello? We gonna win the peace. And I hate talking about this in war terms. We gonna win the peace. I want you to know that. The word love, for what you all in this room and people who are not in this room, in sticking by me and this movement, I don't have enough words to express it. We love you. But I love you all too. I love you too. But I want you to know we will be all right. But it's not going to happen by happenstance. It's going to happen because we continue to fight and to push and to be in this struggle with one another. We going to be all right because we going to make it so. And this Rainbow Coalition of Justice Journey folks, like the people who came before us, we're not going to relent. We will keep pushing. I want to call a prayer, and I know that there are people here from different faiths, and I respect all of the faiths that are in this room. Be you Christian, be you Muslim, be you Jewish, atheist, or agnostic, Buddhist, be you non-denominational, be you black, or white, or Hispanic, or indigenous, or Asian, be you gay or straight or non-conforming or transgender or queer or lesbian, I want you all to know that conscious-minded people from any identity, that when we come together, great things do happen. We got a history of it, and you all know that history. So I want you to be encouraged despite this current circumstance. I want you to be that. So I want to call up women and men and women of the cloth. I want to call up my pastor. I want to call up 2 bishops that I have in this room. I got 2 of my pastors in here, the First Lady and Pastor Early, my pastor. I'm calling up Bishop Minor and Bishop Hurst. And I want us to unite in a prayer, not only for this very moment. I want everybody to pray the way that you pray, and for those who don't pray, that's okay too. And we are going to submit this moment, and you're going to hear it from me. And when I call on you, you got to come, because I'm calling on you for a larger movement. This is bigger than each and every one of us. We don't know what God's plan is. This I do know, is that I am on a justice journey, and God called me for such a time as this. And I'm sure enough free now. See, this kind of freedom, oh yeah.
You better say so.
My black girl magic.
Amen.
This is right here. So Pastor, would you, bishops, with my bishops, I got my First Lady, got my bishops. We're going to do this prayer thing. I'm going to step down a little bit. Dad, step down with me. Where's Bishop Hurst?
Yeah, if you all could just crowd around her.
I want everybody to come up, whatever faith you are. Whatever faith you are. Let's I don't know, let's join in hands. Can we do that? Can we touch and agree? I want my team to stay up there. Y'all team stay up there.
So regardless, let's start here. Let's thank the Creator for another day of life and another day of purpose and another day of destiny. You can put your hands together for that. That just means you're happy to be alive. Before we pray, I want to say this publicly, that God is pleased with your work and your effort towards social justice. The judgment of justice does not always reflect God's pleasure with his people, because sometimes we have to continue to fight because we fight for generations we may never see. But I need us all here to leave discouraged, because Senator, you said something. Encouraged.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for. That's spirit talking. You can be transparent, but encouraged. I need you to leave very encouraged, because you said something that the movement does not stop.
Yeah.
So you all are a product of a Nina Turner. While you're here. You take the spirit that God has given you, it's in us to go fight for our families, our communities, our neighborhoods, our churches, and everything thereafter. God is pleased with all of y'all, and we should just make some noise for that. So God, our Creator, we thank you for this moment. It may be challenging, it may be discouraging, but you still are the King of Kings. The Lord of Lords, the Creator of all. You've created everybody in here for a purpose, for this moment, for this movement, and I ask that you will not let the fire go out.
Yes.
That you will keep our energy burning, that you will keep our passion burning, because you have given us an angel, a gift, a warrior in Nina Turner.
Yes.
So thank you for the manifestation of who you are as Creator here on earth. Not in the form of your Son, Jesus Christ, but an extension of who that relationship is to whomever may believe in God in this place. We thank you right now for Nina Turner.
Yeah.
That we're fighting for our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, our uncles, our grandparents. But God, my plea tonight is that nobody leave here discouraged, but leave here still on fire, knowing that our warrior, our leader, is still leading us with the same passion and desire to fight for the least of these and those who don't even know she's fighting for them. So I speak power and prosperity over everybody's life. It may not be what we wanted, but we're still here. It may be tough, but we are still called to fight for generations we may never see. I thank you, God, the creator of heaven and earth, and all of us that stand in this room, that this is not a moment, but this is a movement. So protect our leader as she travels this country. Protect our leader as she fights on behalf of us. Protect our leader from any hurt, harm, or danger that may come her way, seen or unseen. We need her. And God, thank you for sending us her. In all of God's name and all of God's children, amen. Amen.
Three texts came to my mind from the Holy Writ. First one that came to my mind is that the righteous have a concern for the poor. The unrighteous have no such concern. That text says to me that you measure your righteousness or your Christ-likeness by your concern for those, as God says, what you have done unto the least of them, you have also done unto me. That's the second text. And then what comes to mind is the race is not given to the swift, but to him who endures to the end. We're not in a sprint. We're in a marathon. We're not a movement. I mean a moment. We're a movement. And I like it that the God that I serve is one who loves to make it look like. Regardless of what it looks like to now, it's not necessarily what the end is going to be. Your condition is not your ending. The children of Israel were on the banks of the Red Sea. It looked like it was over. Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. It looked like it was over.
Come on,
The Hebrew boys were put in the fiery furnace. It looked like
it was over.
it was over. But we serve a God who likes to make it look like.
Come on.
God bless you. May God continue to be with you. May the Spirit of God and the Spirit of our Creator move in all of us. Amen.
All right. Why don't you say, I'm fired up? Say, I'm fired up? I'm fired up. I don't know about you, but there's a shift in the atmosphere. Because see, sometimes when the world thinks you're losing, you're really winning. Because I'm already fired up about 24. Somebody say 24. And I'm ready to just say, run, Nina, run. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. We win because she lifted up her voice. And she's going to continue to lift up her voice. We win because her voice is strong and she stood up for them that could not stand for themselves. And all we're doing tonight is just turning the corner. Somebody say, I'm fired up. And I'm looking at 24. Say, I'm looking at 24. I'm looking at 24. Say, God bless her. God strengthen her. Come on, empower her. Come on, there's another mountain to climb. There's another valley to go through. There's some more rivers to cross. Say, it ain't over yet. It's only the beginning. Come on, put your hands together.
All I have to say is, in response to what everyone else is saying in the move that is in the room today, we know that Senator Turner is a fighter. We know that she's going to continue to fight. We know that she is not going to be defeated. So as we leave here today, we're just going to continue that fight with her. We're going to continue to be encouraged, continue to be motivated, continue to be empowered so that we can change our communities. Thank you.
All right, y'all, it's Nina Turner! We are excited and we celebrate tonight. We invite you to stay, mix, mingle, enjoy yourself. We're going to celebrate because our movement is on the move.
All's my life I has to fight. All's my life hard times like bad trips like Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up. But if God got us, then we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. You can hear me, you can feel me, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. But I'm myself be looking at you from the face down. I'll make a living if you pull with the face down. Skip it, and let me tell you about my life. Painkillers, let me put me in the twilight. A pretty picture, then it's the highlight. I tell my mama I love her, but that's what I like. Lord knows, 20 years old, my Chevy. I come and get it, reaping everything I sow. So my karma come in heaven, no preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a gangster in silence for the record. Tell me what I know is too late. Close the doors and leave that hungry. Trying to sacrifice this all day. Won't you please believe when I say, when you know we've been hurt, been down before. When our pride was low, looking at the world like where do we go? And we hate poor. When the killers dead in the street for sure. I'm in the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my blood might go, but we gon' be alright.
Hold on, folks. I'm trying to get Nina. Hold on. Can I get you for a minute? Can I get you for a minute? Wait.
Yeah, let me, come on.
So Nina's gonna hop on with us when she's done talking to folks. So this is like one of those plot twists on your favorite Netflix show. I was not expecting that. I'm gonna ask her about it, but she basically just declared she's running for president. So that was quite something. I wasn't expecting that. She also, without using their names, called out the Pinos, progressive in name only, and I think we know who she was talking about without saying their names. Listen, I'm not gonna put lipstick on this. This is a really fucking heartbreaking defeat. I don't know what the final numbers will be, but it looks like Shontel Brown is gonna win by a lot. You know, I think big money definitely played a part in this election. I also think, I don't have the final numbers, but turnout was very low. And that goes beyond Nina Turner. That's a problem in our elections. I think that I'll have to look at the final numbers, but I think that even though she did a better job at the ground game, clearly there's a huge part of Cleveland that just doesn't vote. And that's a problem with progressives not being able to reach those people. Nina Turner wasn't able to reach those people. And that apathy is not just in Cleveland, that's around the country. And progressive candidates need to do a much better job of convincing those people and inspiring them to come out. And Shontel Brown, let's face it, there's a whole lot of money in the final weeks. And that does play a part. I don't want to say that's the only reason, that's the main reason she lost, but it definitely plays a part when you go online and the first thing you see is a Shontel Brown ad. TV, Shontel Brown ad. It definitely plays a part. But it's a pretty bad defeat for the left, for Nina Turner. Obviously, if she does run for president, the media will attack her as a two-time loser for Congress and try and diminish her. So, you know, let's be real. It's going to be a tough sled. But I will say, the speech Nina Turner just gave, and I think a lot of progressives that fell out of favor with Nina Turner because she wasn't talking like that, because she wasn't raising hell on the campaign trail, and she was a more muted version. Well, clearly, that hellraiser is still there. You know, there's gonna be plenty of YouTube videos and plenty of channels pontificating and say, see, if she would have run scorched earth against the Democratic Party, she would have won. I really don't believe that. I genuinely don't think if she would have ran harsher on the Democratic Party here, that would have made a difference. I definitely don't think she would have won as an independent. This is a Democratic district. I will say her voice and her message in her speech now, that hellraiser, that is definitely appealing on a national level. Frankly, she was just talking. Bernie Sanders did not talk that way in 2 campaigns. He was on the issues, but it sounds to me, at least by her speech tonight, and again, things could change. Maybe she's just throwing stuff out there and she's not going to run. Who knows? But I will say, that speech you just gave can really excite not just progressives, but a whole slew of voters. Black voters, young voters, maybe even some older voters, who knows? But we're getting ahead of ourselves for sure. I want to ask her about that, if she's serious about running. I want to ask her if she would consider running as an independent for president. I'd like to ask her who she was talking about in terms of Pino's. She's still talking to people, so she did say she'd come over when she's done talking to people. But yeah, I mean, on one end, it's a bad defeat. There's no other way to put it. I thought it was going to be a lot closer based on the early voting numbers that looked worse for Brown and better for Nina. But obviously Election Day, and the final numbers are not out, but obviously Election Day, you know, Shontel Brown performed a lot better. I will say Cleveland in particular, where Nina Turner won last time, the turnout was pretty bad. Last I looked, it was like 11 or 12%. I mean, that's pretty bad for a major city in America. It might be a little higher now, but when I looked a few hours ago, it was like 12%. That's horrible. So, just talk to the audience for a little bit, and I'll just talk to the audience for a bit. I'm going to see if I can get it.
Hey, you guys got me again. Yeah, that was like Jordan was saying, that was a pretty interesting speech. Was not expecting that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to hear what she has to say when Jordan interviews her here. I'm not sure how long we're waiting. She's talking to a lot of people, so it might be a minute, but stay tuned. Thanks for, I'm curious how many of you guys have stuck around. It's been a very long stream, but, oh.
Hold on. We're trying to get her, bud. as always, it's hard to interview Nina Turner because people stop her. But obviously, I don't want to be too pushy because she wants to thank volunteers and supporters. But she has agreed to do an interview. So. Always tough to do an interview with you because the masses stop you. First, let's talk about this race. Obviously, your campaign felt good going into it. A lot stronger ground game. What do you think happened tonight? What do you think happened tonight? Was it all money, or were there other factors here?
Oh no, it was all money. Almost $3 million coming in the last 2 weeks. They know that we were winning this race. We had an incredibly strong ground game. We did field first. We've been knocking doors since February. Commercials, they outpaced us 50-1 because I did not have the same level of resources that I had last time. We had a team that was different in many ways, and we went hard into the field, but we couldn't combat the onslaught of negative ads 50-1. So what we believe happened is that we had our voters out there, but some of them may have been turned off a little bit by the negative ad. I mean, they pummeled me with negative ads just like they did last time. I am convinced that they would not have come in here. President Biden wouldn't have endorsed. The neoliberal would not have come in here. They knew that we were winning this race, and they called in a 911.
Biden didn't only endorsed one other candidate other than Shontel Brown.
The entire country in a safe district. So it just really tells our movement, and my message right now is to the movement. The freedom fighting movement, we got to take the gloves all the way off.
Let's talk about the gloves all the way off. You mentioned Pinos, P-I-N-O, progressives and names only. Yeah. Let's keep it real. The squad did not come in here for you. AOC came in 5 minutes before. They had their reasons. We can't endorse an incumbent. Who are the Pinos, and did the squad and the broader progressive movement let you down?
I don't want to get into the squad, okay? Some of those women are my friends. Some people were threatened.
Threatened?
Were threatened.
By who?
And, I don't want to get into the threats, but they were threatened. So, look, I want to lead them to the side. I will say that the Congressional Progressive Caucus was wrong. They were wrong, and I was really glad to see Congresswoman Jayapal in the Punch Bowl article kind of allude to they need to change the way that they do this. That came from the pressure of the movement itself. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been noticed. I mean, she did mention, the crypto billionaire coming in and that kind of thing, and maybe that's not the way we should endorse. The Progressive Caucus has got to show that they are different than the Blue Dog Caucus, because if they're not, then they might as well just go ahead and unite with them. So I don't want to put this on, let me say this to the movement. The movement has got to understand that the neoliberal types are not playing with us, so we can't play with them. That's it. And we got to be disciplined, we got to be united, and we cannot get off focus. Because the things that this movement is fighting for, Jordan, are beautiful for all people. But we need more discipline, and we can't play games. And so I am committed to going all across this country and making sure that we get that message. And for those in the wealthier class that do support this movement, who do know that something is wrong with the system, we need them to bring it on in here in terms of making investments so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen again. I said that last year, right? It happened again because they fear me. I mean, it's just obvious. I mean, it is obvious. It's crystal clear. This black woman from Cleveland, $3 million, 2 weeks left in the campaign. And everybody and their mamas and their mama came up in here. But it's okay. When I tell you that my resolve, my resolve is strong.
Am I dreaming, or did you just announce a run for president?
Well, I said 2024, here we come. So I'm going to leave that for other people's imagination. But I said California got something to say about this. Iowa got something to say about this. Nevada got something to say about this.
Well, let me ask you, would you consider running as an independent rather than in the Democratic primary if you ran?
I would consider that. Absolutely, I would. All options are on the table.
Because you know, a lot of people thought Bernie should have ran as an independent, or at least when he lost to the Democratic primary, run as an independent. A lot of people feel Democratic Party is where ambition goes to die, and we just saw a poll where 58% of the country said they would vote for an independent.
I mean, the majority of, even Cuyahoga County, the majority of the voters identify as independent voters. Now, independent voters lean some way. You know, and the two-party system has it, they got it on lock. What we have to begin to do is awaken the sleeping giants, and that's exactly what I plan to do.
And my last question, you mentioned the pundits are going to talk and everything like that. If you run, the media is going to say, two-time loser, agitator, divisive, whatever. What would be your...
I remember the current president now ran 3 times.
Good comeback. And can I just ask you from a spiritual point? I'm going to be honest, you obviously were a little more muted running these last 2 times than you were on the campaign trail for Bernie, and the fire came out in that speech. I think what a lot of people wanted to hear from you during this campaign was that. Can you kind of talk about, did you feel you couldn't be that way?
I wasn't muted, especially this time around. I was not muted at all. You know, I've been out there saying the things that need to be said. I talked about this seat not being for sale. That's calling out the person that's in the seat. I called out the billionaire class and the millionaire class that came in here to taint and dilute the will of the everyday people. I talked about what the vision is for my district and for this country. So I called out the folks, and that's what they don't like. So no, not muted at all. This is me, and my affect comes in different forms. You know, sometimes I am going to be as fiery as I was tonight, and sometimes I'm going to be just as cool and calm and collected as I'm talking to you tonight. But nobody in this movement should doubt where I stand in terms of fighting for the things that people deserve in this country.
My last question, I promise my last question. What do you say to people watching that are just fucking fed up? They rode the Bernie wave. You were out there. They're hopeless. They're working 3 jobs, inflation. They still haven't recovered financially or health-wise from COVID. And they just can't take any more defeat, and they feel like checking out. What do you say to them?
They can't check out because that's what the status quo, that's what the corporatists want them to do. They want them to check out. I was serious when I said this. Cleveland was the station of hope on the Underground Railroad. Hope is an action word. You can't check out, because if you check out, then they automatically win. They being the corporate interests that can buy and bribe politicians, the corporate interests that have a lock hold on what we get and what we don't get. If you check out, then you make their job easier. So we can't check out, we gotta fight. Now you could be disappointed, you could be mad, but what you cannot do is check out, because they automatically win if we do that.
Would you run against Biden in a primary if he still ran?
2024 is gonna take care of itself. What I'm saying to the people.
Don't be coy. Would you run against him?
2024 is gonna take care of itself. What I am saying to the people, I was very clear up there. Said 2024, here we come.
I guess I'll see you in Iowa. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good luck. So, wow. All right, that's a pretty big deal. She just made pretty big news there. Number one, according to her, members of the squad were threatened not to endorse her. I don't know in detail what that means as far as, I assume not physical threats, but I wouldn't put it past the Democratic Party. But she does say, let's go over here. She does say that members of the squad were threatened. She would not mention who she was talking about in terms of progressives in name only. I pushed her on it. She wouldn't say. I think we know who she's talking about, though. She said she would consider running as an independent. So for people who have been beating the drum, don't run as a Democrat anymore, run as an independent. Well, she said she would consider it, so it's up to you to pressure her to do it. If you want her to run as an independent, she's on the record saying she'll consider it. And she also said that, which I think is a little dubious, that she didn't mute herself. I think she was muted these two campaigns, as opposed to her on the campaign trail, being the firebrand. But the main thing she said was the squad was threatened, which is news. I'd love to know more. But it makes sense because we know threats happen in politics. Sometimes they're physical, to be honest, from what I've heard over the years. But apparently, without the formal announcement, she says she's going to run in 2024, and she says she'll consider running as an independent. So I think all of those things are very big news. I am going to, before I sign off, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Thank you for watching. I've been live for 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 hours. So I'm a little tired and thirsty, but thank you. Joanne just signed up as a member. Christine just signed up. Christopher, by my count, we got 22 new members today. Listen, I know people are disappointed. I understand it. I am too. But I hope you'll consider supporting us anyway. Supporting our on-the-ground journalism, because it's important. Whether progressives win or lose, whether activists win or lose, we are going to lose a lot of the time. Sometimes we'll win, like Amazon's historic victory, like Starbucks' historic victory, like the John Deere workers' victory after striking. And a lot of times we'll lose, but we can't. I hope people won't bury their heads in fuck it, and it's pointless. And every time you run in the Democratic Party, this is what happens. I promise you, if she would have run as an independent in this district, she would have lost worse. This is the bluest city in all of Ohio, Cleveland. Independents can't win here. She said that in a previous interview. And we'll see what happens for 2024. I don't think Nina Turner is a savior. I don't think any politician is a savior. I think mass structural change is going to happen outside of the electoral system. But that doesn't mean electoral politics doesn't matter at all. I think it does. So we'll continue covering these elections, these movements. Really, if you can, support us. StatusCoup.com/join. We'll go live again tomorrow. We're going to start driving back home tomorrow. So we'll be live on the road, in the car. Colin will be shooting. I'll be driving. But thank you very much for all the support while we've been out here. Thank you for the super chats. Apologies if I missed any. I really hope more people will consider signing up as a member, StatusCoup.com/join. And we will see you next time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.